talkSPORT Sports Update, powered by the Nissan Van range, helping business owners to work better and live better. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van centre.
With your latest sports headlines, I'm Matt Hutchinson. Good afternoon. Arne Slot has confirmed he's speaking to Mo Salah today as speculation over his Liverpool future rumbles on.
The next time I talk about Mo should be with him, and I have no reasons not wanting him to stay, if that is a little bit of an answer to your question.
Well, Salah had suggested Brighton's visit to Anfield tomorrow could be his last game for the club. Alexander Isak is an injury doubt for that one. Elsewhere, this Friday lunchtime, Evan Ferguson is returning early from his loan at Roma. That's always an option for Brighton, according to Fabian Hertzler. Ferguson scored again in Roma's 3-0 win at Celtic as Wilfred Nancy tries to stay positive following his second loss on the spin. Neil Warnock isn't too sure about Nancy.
You can't be flippant. He was almost flippant. He was almost, I'll do it my way, and I'm not bothered about this. Well, you've got to care. You've got to. I just thought, like Ferguson said, they didn't look as though they knew what they were doing, did they?
Elsewhere, we are having a few challenges here in the new talkSPORT studios. Thanks, gents. Arsenal won't be selling Gabriel Jesus in January. That's according to Mikel Arteta. He returned to action earlier this week after spending 332 days out with a knee injury. Elsewhere, England fans are telling us the prices of World Cup tickets are putting them off heading across the pond next summer. And our very own West Country bumpkin, Ian Holloway, wants FIFA to explain why it costs so much.
What on earth is this all about? There is no justification for these prices. The cheapest ticket's nearly 200 quid. That is so wrong on any level. There is no need of it.
Well, talkSPORT understands the cheapest ticket for the final will cost more than £3,000. No way. And England may not want him, but Lancashire do. Sir James Anderson will be the Red Roses' Red Bull captain next summer. He turns 44 then.
talkSPORT News.
A man's been found guilty of murdering his wife in a rare retrial, and a surge of flu cases and strikes could put patients at risk. More from the news team at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit, your go-to destination for quality tyres from great brands like Continental. Visit your local centre or quickfit.com and book today.
We're expecting a dry and bright Friday afternoon for most of the UK. Some showers, though, in parts of central and eastern England, as well as far northwest Scotland.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We've been taking you through what should be another busy day of football. Chance to win it! Oh! Oh!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. Good afternoon, this is Clink Jacobs on talkSPORT. I'm Olly Clink in for Paul Hawksby. Andy, what's coming up this afternoon?
Well, Ollie, we'll speak to Kev Hatchard about the crazy World Cup ticket prices and how they've been received across the continent. They haven't gone down too well here. And Dean Ashton is with us later to look ahead to a busy weekend of Premier League football.
Yeah, we'll also predict some scores in the Falls panel, which I'll make a mess of as usual. And star of the Celebrity Traitors, Lucy Beaumont, is going to join us to talk about Christmas puddings losing popularity and how on earth she didn't catch the devious Alan Carr.
Absolutely. I don't think has Christmas puddings ever been popular. I don't think they have really, sure. But you sort of eat them out of penance. We'll also, not Jermaine Pennant, we'll also get the latest from the States with Todd Macklin. We'll chat about Paul Pogba's investment in Camel racing. And we'll bring you all the best bits from the managers speaking today.
All of that plus plenty more. 4 minutes past 1. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Andy.
Good afternoon, Ollie. Good afternoon, everybody. And the big question for me this morning is, why did Celtic get rid of Martin O'Neill? Seriously, he was doing a great job. They were winning. They brought this bloke in. It's been a disaster, hasn't it, so far?
Can they now go back to him? Do you think?
They might have to.
Yeah, they might. What was it? 7 wins out of 8?
I know.
Wasn't it for O'Neill?
I mean, there's got to be something in it, hasn't there? You know, he's a brilliant manager. He understands that club so well. I'm surprised they did what they did, but, you know, maybe Martin didn't want the job full time, but I got the impression that he'd have been quite happy to stay.
Well, he's back with Jim and Simon on Monday. Do you think he missed them that much? He just thought, no, you know,
Yeah,
what? 7 wins out of 8, but I just love Jim White.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to go back to him, I
I
think.
just want to be on the 17th floor of the news building. As they say.
Yeah, exactly. I've been on my travels, Andy, this week. I've just got back from Germany. Went out
Really?
to
Were
watch.
you up for the Newcastle game?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Obviously, my thick Geordie accent gives that away. Big Newcastle fan.
Yeah, we all know you support.
Yeah. Well, we have just launched a new show as well on the YouTube channel, Inside the Toon. Bi-weekly look at all things Newcastle United. New episode out Monday. So yeah.
Plug.
Yeah, thank you. But it's a big week as well, isn't it? But I'd have to say that the highlight of my trip to Germany, obviously 2-2 is not the worst result in the world, but Lucas Podolski owns a number of kebab shops in Cologne.
Yeah.
Oh, my word.
Is it
I
good?
was, like some of the best food I've ever eaten, which probably says a lot about me. But I'm not I'm not a big kebab fan, which you might be surprised at. Yeah. But they are truly glorious. I mean, he needs to explain. This is my call for Lucas Podolski. Please open some shops in the UK.
The doner or the sheesh or the mixed?
Do you know what? It's just called the Poldy sandwich. And it is just outstanding. Genuinely outstanding. That was the highlight of the trip.
Involving a pita bread?
It's a kind of, it's not even a pita bread. I can't really describe it, to be honest. It's just delicious, and the meat is just great quality.
Who cares they didn't get the win?
No,
Great kebab.
no. The cuisine, the German cuisine, was the highlight of the trip for me. I would have to say, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Now we're going to talk about the World Cup ticket prices. Obviously, they are insane for a game of football. And I was saying to you, paying this much for football is madness. I mean, you've got no guarantee that it won't be a 0-0 stinker. It's not like going to see Taylor Swift or a fantastic musical, The Lion King or something. You know what you're gonna get for your money.
Guaranteed a good time at The Lion King.
You've got to throw in the travelling. The prices are 3 times more than Qatar. Oh, it's absolutely appalling. It would be so great because you know what people do. I mean, I know people in Argentina, they sell their house, they sell anything to be there. And I suppose people will do the same, but it would be so great if they didn't.
Oh, it'd be amazing.
Fantastic, nice empty stadiums.
But I mean, even if you look at the start of the Club World Cup as well, and how many games there were kind of empty seats for, etc. And you look at some of the fixtures in that group stage, Andy, you know, with all due respect, who's turning up in their forces for Qatar against Switzerland? You know, and that's one of the earlier games.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
Exactly.
Should be a cracker.
Yeah.
But the idea that you've got to show 5 years of social media to enter America, this must be done with AI. I mean, otherwise, who's going to stand there screwed? What, when you get to the airport, the bloke goes, well, let me have a look what you did on Instagram. Oh, and you were on this. I mean, it'd take them about 3. Well, it'd take a day, wouldn't it, to go through 5 years? So there must be some sort of algorithm that does. I can't imagine how they're going to.
You hosted Thank Football It's Friday with Rory Jennings. We can't let you in.
That's definitely true.
We'd be in a bit of trouble there, I think. Yeah.
Now they've announced the list for Sports Personality of the Year, and they asked Luke Littler if he thought he could win it, and he said no. Lando Norris for him. But somebody put up a link on the Chelsea fan site. I don't know why they did. There's Sports Personality of the Year 1985, the whole show on YouTube. Ooh. So I don't know. I was at a loose end, so I started to watch it, and it was fascinating. It was fascinating because it was a time before Sky, when BBC had so much of the sport, and it was a brilliant show. I mean, just absolutely fantastic.
Who won?
Barry McGuigan.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, for his beating Pedrosa. It was a big fight at QPR. You forget about all these things. Massive fight at Loftus Road. You wouldn't think that would happen. It was the 5 nations, not the 6 nations. Only 17,000 people ran the marathon.
Oh, really?
Compared to now, yeah. It's the World Cup draw was going on at the same time, and Des said, well, it's just been happening now, and here's the thing. They didn't even show it. Wow. Only right at the end they showed a bit of it. So it was quite, it's quite a different sort of idea of the way they approach.
I mean, the World Cup draw the other day could have started in 1985 and it still wouldn't be finished.
No, it was good to see Ali Ross saluting Jonathan Pearce's efforts. I sent Jonathan Pearce a little message saying it was brilliant. It was like Wogan and
it was like Eurovision.
It was like Eurovision. He just had that, and he had to be careful because given the history of BBC and Trump and all this, so he couldn't be too overtly. He was just subtle and
it was very good.
It was a brilliant performance.
It was very, very good. Yeah, I mean, well, that's interesting. Going back to sports personality, I saw Henry Winter tweet about the fact that Scott McTominay
he's got a point, hasn't he?
Hasn't been nominated. And I agree with that. When you think about the year that McTominay's had, you know, obviously winning over in Italy, what he's achieved with Scotland, amazing goal in that game against Denmark, kind of caps that all off, and yet he doesn't get a shout. I think it's a bit unlucky.
You know the person who compiled the short list, nearly close. The short list. And, that's what I said. Looked at Henry's tweet and went, no.
Yeah.
They completely forgot about it.
They did.
It's clearly obvious.
Yeah. Who do you think should win?
It's difficult. I mean, I'm a massive fan of Luke Little. I think what he's done in his sport is tremendous. Lando Norris, I don't know. I never get that excited. Yes, he won it, but was it the team? Was it him? Was it the other bloke? I don't know. He was all right.
Yeah.
I can't get that.
What about McIlroy? It's McIlroy for me.
McIlroy could be, definitely.
Yeah,
and
that was
talking of winning
amazing.
things, Enzo Maresca won Manager of the Month for November. Talk about
congratulations.
The curse of the Manager of the Month. It's really gone so well since then, hasn't it?
Yeah. Do you reckon he's going to win this month? Is he in the running, potentially?
No, definitely
not.
My
word. Well, yeah, we'll get stuck into Chelsea a bit later on. We'll look ahead to all of the games in the Premier League a bit later. We're also going to chat about camel racing because Paul Pogba has decided to invest in it. And, I mean, we've been watching a bit of the camel racing. There's a big thing on Netflix. The guys from that are going to join us.
I mean, it's basically horse racing, but with camels. So that's an obvious thing to say, but they don't go over the jumps there.
Yeah, they don't talk about the going as much, I think. Yeah,
no, that's true.
It's just sandy. It's just sandy, yeah. So, yeah, we're going to have a bit of a chat about that a bit later. Dean Ashton is going to join us. We're going to do the Fools panel a bit later on as well, which I am hopeless at. I'm really sorry, Paul Hawksby, but you're in a bit of trouble.
That's good. But then Stan's off this week, so he can't contribute.
Of course, yes. Dean's got to live up to something there, hasn't he?
And I'm bottom of the table. I'm just gone.
Yeah. We'll also keep you across the darts too. It's going on at Ali Pali, the World Darts Championship. Ian Danta is watching for talkSPORT.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. We're into day 2 then of the first full day of action at Alexandra Palace. Luke Littler, as you mentioned, got through last night, the world champion. Right now, the first match in progress, Neil Zonneveld of the Netherlands is a 7-0 up in a race to 3 sets against Hapoi Puha, the New Zealander, who's in danger of losing his tour card, but he's been throwing some 180s and looking quite decent early on, trying to get back into the second set, one leg down. Later on in this afternoon session, Ian White and Mervyn King, 2 veterans of the PDC, will lock horns. Ryan Searle, heavy metal, the man who can't see the board because of the eye condition he has, but he can still hit trebles and doubles. He takes on Chris Landman. And a former world champion, the first world champion we brought you on talkSPORT, Rob Cross, who's really struggling this year, down to 21 in the world. He's under threat as a seed against Kåre Dekker of Norway. Every dart is live on the talkSPORT app. It's also on talkSPORT 2 and the talkSPORT Darts YouTube page this afternoon here at Ali Pali. And the Ali Pali Wasp has just made an early appearance on the stage. Now we know it's Christmas.
PDC World Darts Championship update on talkSPORT with Village Hotels. Hit the bullseye this Christmas with a darty party at Village. Enjoy flights of festive fun with our interactive darts lanes, available at locations across the UK.
It's amazing, that Wasp. How does it survive?
Yeah.
From, it's not really Wasp time of year, really. They tend to have gone.
Yeah. Yeah, amazing. Do you know what? Producer Sean told us a bit earlier that he's heading to the darts. Has to go as a wasp. Has to go as a wasp.
Yeah.
That is your costume sorted, Sean. But he was one of those who's going, I don't really like dressing out.
Colours, the black and yellow.
There you go. Representing the company.
Did you know, I read this week, that the game of darts probably started with soldiers throwing arrowheads at upturned wine casks in medieval times.
Really?
Yeah, I never knew that.
Wow.
Interesting fact about darts. You might like to
I wonder what music they walked out to back then. Get green sleeves, get the crowd going.
Oh, not green sleeves.
Not again. This is Clink Jacobs here on talkSPORT in partnership with Toolstation. Stay one step ahead, whatever the job. Next stop, Toolstation. Good afternoon, this is Clink and Jacobs here on talkSPORT. I'm Olly Clink in for Paul Hawksby. Josh in Hull has got in touch, Andy. As an England fan who spent the summer in Germany last year, I am so on board. Podolski's is the greatest kebab chain of all time.
Wow.
Huge claim from Josh, but I back it. They're probably doing that on Drive, aren't they?
Why don't you open a franchise?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a good shout.
I'll come in with you, actually.
Really?
Why not?
Get Podolski in front of the Dragons, and then we'll see where it goes from there, potentially. Now, we need to speak about these World Cup ticket prices because they're an absolute farce. They're hugely up on the prices from Qatar. To give you a couple of examples, for England's match against Croatia on the 17th of June, tickets cost from £198 to £373, or even £523. It is quite astonishing. Let's hear from Thomas Concannon from the Football Supporters Association. He spoke to Sam Matterface, Alex Crook and Neil Warnock this morning on talkSPORT and outlined the cost of next summer's World Cup for fans.
We knew the prices were going to be high. I really didn't see them being this high. That price for the final in particular, which England fans are used to paying in advance, just in case we get there, is absolutely astonishing. £3,200 is effectively what that's going to cost. That's £35 a minute. It's just absolutely astonishing. $7,000 to follow England right from the start to the finish. England fans are paying more than what other countries are. They've weighted the countries in terms of popularity. It's just completely unacceptable. It's an absolute disgrace.
Let's bring in Kev Hatchard, the European football expert. I mean, Kev, you've got to go along with what Thomas is saying. It's farcical, this, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an outrage. There's no doubt about it. And Football Supporters Europe, who've been around for quite a while, they've described it as a monumental betrayal of the tradition of the World Cup. And you have to say that's absolutely right, because you look at all the great scenes we see in the World Cup, fans are at front and centre of all of those. And without that kind of atmosphere, without their dedication, without the fact that they go and support their nations, in every single game to far-flung corners of the world, you just wouldn't have the same spectacle. And I don't think FIFA are alone in this. I think this is a problem across football. I think we've seen this in the Premier League. I think we've seen Category A games, and suddenly if Manchester United or Liverpool or whoever are visiting, the ticket prices get bumped up. I think in general, the sport isn't looking after its fans. And I think in the long run, it might be in for a bit of a shock, because families who kind of pass this kind of love of the sport down to the next generation, when they can't afford to do that anymore, suddenly those hardcores that are so important, I think, at international level, at club level, they're going to disappear. They're going to be forced out. And if they want tourists, which a lot of clubs do and a lot of organisations do, that's what they're going to get. But what you're not going to have with those tourists is that loyalty.
It's not just the ticket prices. America's quite an expensive place to be in, isn't it? Food-wise and hotel-wise and travel-wise, so there's all that on top of it. And I was just fascinated. One of the reasons I wanted to get you on is because Germany, the fans there are so used to paying a decent price for football, and it's so much a part of their culture. So they must be horrified by this.
Yeah, they are, and that's been in one of the big publications over there in Bild, saying that fans are going to have really deep pockets. They've spoken to the German FA, and they say that they are really upset about the prices, but they've got no input. They've got no influence on it. They were hoping that because, as you say, it's going to be very expensive to get out to North America, and it's also going to be very expensive to have these hotels as well, because some of the hotel rooms have gone up by 2,000%. Some of the prices. Wow, I mean, it's just beyond belief, really. And so you've got that situation, and the DFB were hoping that the ticket prices would be kept low. The thing to remember as well is that when the bid document was submitted a few years ago, the ticket prices were significantly lower than these. And so that hasn't been stuck to. And this idea of dynamic pricing, again, it brings you back to the idea that this isn't just a normal gig. This isn't just going to see Taylor Swift or something like that. It's very, very different. To just a regular, go and see theatre or go and see a music gig or whatever. It's not the same, because you're asking fans to basically go to a gig 19, 20 times a year. You know, that wouldn't normally happen. I mean, I know Taylor Swift fans are pretty dedicated, but you get the idea that, you know, you're asking for a bond here. And it goes to loads of stuff. You've got me on my soapbox now. But, clubs who are trying to take league games abroad, it's not on. You've got people who've been season ticket holders for years, decades, whole families who go, and suddenly you're saying to them, oh, we're off to Perth for the home game against Como. Or in Villarreal and Barcelona's case, what they were trying to do was take that to Miami. How's that fair?
Do you envisage any possibility, Evan, of German fans or foreign European fans basically saying, look, no, we're not going to go? And, of course, that is the one thing that would force FIFA to change their policies, would be empty stadiums. And you do get the feeling, and I think they did this, unless I'm wrong, Ollie, you'll correct me, in the Club World Cup, there were tickets, available much, much cheaper nearer the time because the stadiums were empty.
Yeah, that's right. And I wonder whether there will be fans who just go on the off chance, actually, that they will be able to pick up tickets really late in the day. I mean, you look at the way German fans generally behave. We've had an incident this season in the Bundesliga where there's been discussions about personalisation of tickets. So if you have a ticket for a game, it has to have your name on. You can't just pass it to a friend if you can't go or whatever. There's been lots of talk about the police influence on things because they're trying to change how games are treated security-wise. And that has had huge protests. Yeah, you've had fans just being silent for the first 12 minutes of games. And that's been pretty widespread. And we see this all the time in Germany, that they are happy to vote with their feet. They are happy to get together, regardless of club loyalties, and try and make a stand. But my gut feeling is it isn't going to be enough, because unless you get fans of, most nations saying we're not going to go, then it's really difficult to make an impact. And what FIFA will just do is probably fill it with locals anyway, who are just vaguely interested. So I think the impact of this might not be felt for this World Cup, but it might be in World Cups to come if fans keep being disenfranchised like this.
Kev, thank you very much indeed for your time there, Kev Hatchard, European football expert. And he's absolutely bang on. It's not a surprise, is it at all, that you're right to point out the fact that Germany, and famously treat their fans so well, that fan culture is so important over there. They must be horrified by this.
Everybody is, but the trouble is, people are so addicted to football, so addicted to following so desperate to follow their country in the World Cup. People will somehow find the money, and as long as that happens, FIFA will keep ripping people off. The only way they won't do it, it's the same with TV rights. If people stop watching on TV, the rights would drop, the prices would drop. Yeah. But while it doesn't happen, it's just their market. They can set the prices for it however they want.
Yeah, apparently for the cheapest ticket for the final, it's going to cost a supporter £35 a minute of action.
Yeah, it's just we've got a listener, Chris, in America, with the breakfast show for him, and he texted me last Friday, and he said, listeners heard me say this, but I'll say it again. He bought 2 tickets for a Philadelphia game. He didn't have any idea who's going to be playing. $360 each. And 2 tickets for New Jersey. He bought those, $500 each. That's the upper level. That's not even the best seats. They cost over $1,200. And he was prepared. You see, this is it. He was prepared to do it because for him, it's a World Cup in his country. He's desperate to be there. He's desperate to see a couple of games. So he's prepared to pay $1,000, $1,700, which is a lot of money, I think.
Well, we will have every kick of the World Cup covered for free here for you to listen to on talkSPORT, if you so need to, of course. Now, in just a moment, we're going to be chatting about a little secret meeting between Mo Salah and Jordan Henderson. They had a little rendezvous.
Why so secret?
In West London.
Onlooker Ben put a stop to that. I'll tell you about him later.
We're going to have a quick chat with Ben Jacobs about that. Plenty more still to come. We're going to chat about camel racing as well this hour because Paul Pogba's decided to invest in that. This is Clink and Jacobs here on talkSPORT.
Mo Salah will be spoken to this morning over his future at Liverpool. Arne Slot says he has no reason to not want Salah to stay.
The next time I talk about Mo should be with him, and I have no reasons not wanting him to stay, if that is a little bit of an answer.
Salah had suggested Brighton's visit to Anfield tomorrow could be his last game for Liverpool. Arsenal are now not thinking of selling Gabriel Jesus now that he's fit again. Mikel Arteta says Jesus is now pushing to start ahead of Victor Gyökeres. No news, though, on Saliba's fitness. Arsenal v Wolves is live on talkSPORT tomorrow night. Alan Brazil's wondering why Celtic didn't hold on to Martin O'Neill for the rest of the season after Wilfred Nancy's become the first Celtic boss to lose his opening 2 matches.
They change it after one game. They change the formation. We get beat. And then we get absolutely smashed by Roma at Parkhead. And there's a cup final coming up the weekend. If they lose that, imagine this guy, he's going, what have I done?
Now, would you want to pay 35 quid a minute to be at the World Cup final? Thomas Concannon from the Football Supporters Association says £3,000 is disappointing.
It won't be like previous World Cups where England fans would travel in the thousands, as they should, to Mexico, America and Canada, 3 great countries that we have great relationships with. We could have had a fantastic time. But you'll just see a lot more people will just stay at home and watch it in the pubs.
And at 43 years old, Jimmy Anderson's been named as Lancashire's captain for next season's county championship.
Andy's been researching Podolski kebabs.
I know. Here's Lucas slicing up a doner, a large one. Tremendous.
I wonder, it might even work in one.
It's called Mangal times Lucas Podolski. So he must have, gone into business with somebody who knew I doubt whether he really knew the kebab business.
Well, I don't know, because these are electric kebabs. They are incredible. Seriously. I mean, they're worth just going to Cologne for that. You'd go there, have one, fly home, and have a great time. Right, in just a moment, we are going to be talking about Camel Race. I'm looking forward to that because Paul Bogba's decided to invest in that. But first, we want to talk about a little secret rendezvous that Mo Salah has had with Jordan Henderson. Of course, plenty going on in terms of Mo Salah with his fiery comments last week, and he was left out of the game against Inter Milan and the squad for that. Liverpool boss Arne Slot has been speaking to the media this morning ahead of their game with Brighton tomorrow, and of course he was asked about Mo Salah.
I will have a conversation with Mo this morning, and the outcome of that conversation determines how it will look tomorrow. What I need is a conversation with him. The next time I talk about Mo should be with him. And I have no reasons not wanting him to stay, if that is a little bit of an answer.
There you go.
There we go. Let's bring in Ben Jacobs on this talkSPORT Saudi correspondent. Ben, just firstly, talk to us about this meeting between Salah and Henderson in a West London restaurant and what was potentially discussed.
Yeah, it was a leaked photo in a tabloid newspaper. And in terms of what's discussed, we don't actually have that many details. Obviously, it's not a photo that I've personally verified, but we have no reason to believe that it is not genuine. And the reason why it's making headlines is, of course, because Jordan Henderson went to Saudi Arabia playing for Steven Gerrard's Al Ittifaq and came back after a very short period of time. So it'll be really intriguing to understand if Salah does end up leaning towards moving to Saudi Arabia, whether Henderson has given him any positive insight or perhaps some negativity around the league and its growth. I think, though, it's very different because Jordan Henderson moved to Al Ittifaq. It was summer 2023. The project was only just getting going. Ittifaq, not one of the biggest sides. It was basically just the Gerrard connection. He didn't have a gym or any professional facilities that he was used to. It was evening games. It was a different language in the dressing room. Whereas if Salah chooses to move to Saudi Arabia, he'll likely be moving to a bigger club with more infrastructure, earning more money. He speaks the language. He understands the culture as well. So personally, I'm not so sure that the meeting will mean a great deal. We know Salah's open potentially to Saudi Arabia. It's all whether that's going to be January and this is the end, or if it's a game to get more game time and minutes at Liverpool. And the Saudi story, as far as Salah is concerned, might be something more to look out for under that scenario in summer 2026.
It feels a bit stage managed, this, because you have to imagine, you've just basically alluded to that, and Mo Salah must know everything about Saudi, life in Saudi, Saudi football. I can't imagine he doesn't. He must have friends who play there. You know, he's been, other clubs have been after him from that country, so he must have looked into it. It does seem as if this is a bit of a sort of stage managed, again, putting pressure on Liverpool. I mean, the thing about Mo Salah, he's a wonderful footballer, but he's quite a self-serving sort of player. There's no question about that. He only makes he only talks in press conferences when he wants something. You could say he only really puts it in when he wants a new contract, you know. So, you know, I'm not so sure that it wouldn't be a good idea for him to go at this point, but I'm sure Liverpool fans don't agree with me.
Yeah, I think what's fair to say is that there's two perspectives, and Saudi dealmakers, by the way, don't know the answer. So they're cautious because they don't want to be drawn into a game between Salah and Liverpool. And I'm here in Riyadh at the moment. And as we've reported on talkSPORT, you've got Al Hilal, Al Qadsiya, Neom FC, and potentially, if it's to be the summer, Al Ittihad. But Al Hilal and Al Ittihad have got full foreign player quotas at the moment. And even though people think that Saudi could just fund it, the central funding for the season is gone. So the clubs are going to have to make space and find the money. Al Hilal would likely have to lose Malcolm. Al Ittihad would lose Karim Benzema if they're to fund Salah. And again, summer, not January. So there are complications. And basically, there's two schools of thought. One is that Salah's interview at Ellen Road was more like Cristiano Ronaldo. He pre-decided it's over at Liverpool, and he's used the interview to effectively catalyse a move. Second interpretation is that this Salah interview is the same as his last one to journalists, where he said he was more out than in, and weeks later it ended up being more in than out because he signed a new deal. And that would suggest that this is about putting pressure on Arne Slot, getting more game time at Liverpool, and being a bit disillusioned that Szoboszlai's playing on the right, maybe Semenya arrives, he's effectively being phased out. But remember, this is what Liverpool do, and they won't make an exception for Salah. Andy Robertson's still there, but Kirkus got signed. They wanted Trent to stay, but Frimpong was always going to arrive, and then obviously Trent left. So Liverpool are in the business of phasing out their names whilst they still have value and finding a replacement and phasing that name in. It's just what they do. They wanted Mark Gahey, left-sided centre-back. Virgil van Dijk was always going to continue this season as the captain. So Mo Salah might not like that, but ultimately it's how Liverpool work, and there'll be no exceptions. So now they have to meet and find a solution, and Saudi clubs are prepared to move, but they want to be sure that if they do, they're not being messed about.
Now, we know, obviously, the standard of living and sort of money that's earned in Saudi is high, but what's been their reaction to these ticket prices? Do they care about this? Because presumably they want their own fans, to go out to the World Cup next summer as well.
Yeah, I think the ticket prices are dynamic, and most fans and nations that's part of the World Cup are disappointed because they want to be able to have their supporters back the World Cup, book the World Cup, and do it as quick as possible. And I think, as we heard in the news bulletin, there is something like £35 a minute if you want to go and watch the World Cup final. The irony as well is that some of the richer nations that perhaps feel the demographic would visit and care less about the cost won't go that far and have cheaper prices. And some of the poorer nations that are expected to go very far in the World Cup and be dark horses, the likes of Ecuador or Colombia, fans can't afford the cumulative spend of the flights, the location where they're based, and the cost as well. But unfortunately, FIFA's perspective is that this is how American sport works in particular. Yes, you've got Canada, Mexico, but most of the big hikes are in America. And to go and see a Knicks game, standard league match, it's in excess of £200 for an average ticket. And it's up to £2,500 if you want to be courtside. So FIFA's belief, like with the Club World Cup, is that if the stadiums are full, it doesn't matter who pays, as long as it's full. And if they feel they can overcharge and get it full, then even better. But what I would say is that you always get a spike in the immediate aftermath of the World Cup draw, because everyone's scrambling for flights and hotels and tickets. And then, of course, it dies down and maybe there are gaps in the stadiums, and that's when the dynamic pricing drops. So the smart move actually might be to wait, because the prices we see now could actually go down, not up. And that was definitely the case with the Club World Cup.
Ben, just going back to Mo Salah, obviously it feels like the destination for him will eventually be Saudi, but has this situation pricked up the ears of other clubs across Europe? I'm not sure if Jordan Henderson was trying to recruit him for Brentford, but there are some other clubs across the continent where Salah could end up.
Yeah, Liverpool have no plans to sell within the Premier League, nor are they looking to loan Mo Salah anywhere until the end of the season. And even though some reports have suggested there could be a contract termination, that's also not my understanding. Liverpool's perspective is they want Salah to see out his contract. Liverpool, if they are to let Salah go, whether January or summer 2026, would expect a fee. And to be honest with you, that rules out a number of European clubs, because Liverpool's valuation naturally is quite high, because they know that they've got suitors that may pay above the odds. So if Salah's to go and it's Saudi, it'd be more than the Darwin Nunez fee, which was 53 million euros plus add-ons, but clearly less than the 150 million that Al Ittihad offered 2 years ago that was turned down by the FSG chief, Mike Gordon. Outside of the Premier League, PSG have long been linked because of the relationship between Nasser Al-Khalifi and Mo Salah, but they're downplaying the idea of a move. Atletico Madrid and Roma have been interested in the past, and of course Roma would be a return, but Salah's never really shown an appetite to going back to Roma, but they are pushing at the moment at the top end of Serie A. But these clubs can't afford a Salah deal or, as importantly, a Salah wage. MLS is a bit of a dark horse for Salah. 3 clubs, Inter Miami, potentially. They've got the money. Chicago Fire, because they actually bid for Salah before he signed his new deal in April. And maybe San Diego, because they've got a British-Egyptian owner, but their focus is on youth. So there are other clubs outside of Saudi Arabia, but I think many in the industry feel if Salah leaves Liverpool, Saudi is his most viable destination, because they're the only ones that can actually afford to pull the deal off.
Yeah, and the money would pay for Gay and Semenya.
That's true. Yeah, that's very true. Ben, thanks very much indeed.
Cheers, guys.
There we go. Ben Jacobs there, talkSPORT's Saudi correspondent. This is Clink Jacobs here on talkSPORT. By the way, someone's pointed out that Clink Jacobs sounds a bit like a wine and cheese rebrand. I think it's quite a good shout, to be fair.
With kebabs. Can I thank Paul Forrester, a long-time listener? He sent us all a Christmas card. Paul, Andy, Charlie, and all the great guys and girls behind the glass. Tremendous.
They've all given him a big wave as well. Yeah, so thank you very
Paul.
much.
Very nice.
Indeed. This is Clink Jacobs, on talkSPORT in partnership with Toolstation. Pick up your wet weather essentials today.
After all that.
Next up, Toolstation.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Excuse me.
And we're back. This is Clink Jacobs here on talkSPORT with me, Olly Clink, in for Paul Hawksby. We're going to chat about camel racing in just a moment. Okay. First, though, let's head over to the World Darts Championship at Ali Pali. Mark Wilson's watching for talkSPORT.
Yeah, good afternoon, guys. Neil Zonneveld is safely through to round two. He's beaten the New Zealander Paddy Power by 3-0. Crucially, the opening 2 sets all went to a deciding leg, and Zonneveld won them before running away with it. Average 115.62 in set 3. Devastating defeat for Poor. That means he loses his tour card going forward. So Zonneveld through. He'll take on Michael Smith in round 2. Right now, over on talkSPORT 2 and on the talkSPORT app and the talkSPORT Darts YouTube page, Ian White taking on Mervyn King. 2 of the old stages going head-to-head. Race to 3 for a place in round 2, and they've shared the opening couple of legs. It's Ian White 1, Mervyn King 1.
PDC World Darts Championship update on talkSPORT with Village Hotels. Hit the bullseye this Christmas with a darty party at Village. Enjoy flights of festive fun with our interactive darts lanes. Available at locations across the UK.
Is that Mervyn King, the former governor of the Bank of England? Probably not.
Yeah, could be. Never know.
Maybe a darts player on his spare time.
Yeah. Now, Paul Pogba's moved into the sport of camel racing after investing in Saudi Arabia-based team Al Habib. The Monaco midfielder has become a shareholder and ambassador for Al Habib, the world's first professional camel racing team competing across the UAE and the Gulf. Here is Pogba discussing why he got involved.
For me, it's fantastic. It's great. I mean, it's for the culture of Middle East. It's something huge. For me, it's something new. But I love new things. And it's something that I was looking up to when I was coming to the Middle East, camels, and I got interested and I got this opportunity to be part of this culture. And when I got this chance, I didn't hesitate, and it was a great opportunity for me. So I'm really happy to be the owner of a camel team, and I'm totally sure that it's going to grow again, but I really enjoy it. Seriously, this is the first thing. I enjoy it.
Looks exciting, doesn't it? If you're watching on YouTube, you can see it.
And I think if you like racing, if you're a big fan of horse racing, why wouldn't you really enjoy camel racing? Looks fun.
Yeah, it does indeed. Let's welcome in Omar Al-Maina and Safwan Madir, who are the owners of the Al Habib camel racing team. Omar, I'll start with you. How exciting is it to have someone like Paul Pogba on board?
I think it's beyond words, really. Being a big football fan and having someone like Paul Pogba join us as a shareholder in the team, and what he does to uplift the sport and bring new eyeballs on the sport is really, really great. So that's it's beyond a dream, to be honest. Like I can't explain how I feel. It is really amazing.
How far do you see the sport expanding? Do you see it sort of coming into Europe? I mean, it must have some appeal, I think, as I said, to people who love horse racing.
Yeah, I think Safwan's more. He knows more about camels in Europe than I do.
So thank you for having us. As you said, if you love horse racing, why wouldn't you love camels? Us doing this move and bringing a football star with us to have more audience see the sport and get to know this amazing sport. So one day it grows and reaches Europe and even beyond that.
Is it right? I mean, we were looking at some of the races beforehand. It's now robot jockeys, small robots, rather than it used to be children. Is that right? Or have I got that wrong?
Yeah, it is robots, and actually, it's a very interesting mechanism. So the robot on the camel has a small speaker,
right?
And the trainer drives with the car next to the camel who's racing, and he has to keep his eye and give sound commands to the camel, so it knows when to speed, when to not. It's a two-way communication that I'm sure everyone will find very much interesting.
Wow, that's great.
That's amazing.
That's really interesting. Actually.
That's amazing. Omar, just on Paul Pogba, did he approach you? Did you go to him? How did it all come about?
Oh, I think it was a mutual thing. You know, when things kind of happen, we were looking at different kind of players, but when we met Paul and we spoke to him, it was just the chemistry was there, and he asked a lot of questions. He seemed very interested, and we felt comfortable. He felt comfortable with us, and we thought that this is a really good kind of team together and collaboration that can really go far. So it was really just a very easy and very light conversation that ended up here.
Saudi Arabia has become a hub for other sports, boxing, golf, all sorts of football. What about the popularity locally of the camel racing? Does it get big crowds?
Well, camel racing in the GCC countries and Saudi Arabia, UAE, all of them, has been there for hundreds of years.
Yes.
And it's something very much rooted in the culture. And we love this sport so much, and we love camels so much that we really think they didn't get their fair share as a sport. So that's why we want a global audience to start looking and getting interest into the sport.
And what will this investment from Pogba, what will it go towards? What are you going to use that money for?
I mean, there's many things. There's Paul and there's other investors as well as including ourselves. It looks at obviously hopefully expanding the number of camels we have. It goes into animal welfare. It goes into modern techniques of how do we get them faster? How do we, we look at blood work a lot. We look at heart rate. These are all new mechanisms that some are in equestrian that we're going to transfer over to camel racing. And then a big part of the investments are definitely into marketing and PR and trying to do our part in growing the sport. So that is kind of in a nutshell, hopefully where the funds go towards.
Are the camel trainers a bit like, the horse racing trainers like Mullins? Are there guys that actually dominate the sport?
Yeah, it's different techniques, different schools. GCC countries have different ways when it comes to training the camels. In Saudi, Oman, UAE, Qatar, it's different. It's all about the trainer, actually. When you wake up in the morning and you take your horses for a swim, we do the same. We take our camels to the beach and we take them for a swim. We take good care of them, their hygiene, etc. All of these things help, as if you're taking care of an athlete.
Sure.
And just quickly, guys, you've got a Netflix documentary out, haven't you, about the sport, and people can watch that and find out all sorts about camel racing and the ins and outs of what you guys get up to.
Yeah, we probably have to have a chat with Netflix because they kind of they parametered us in Middle East and North Africa, so anyone outside of these boundaries can't watch it. So I think with this news, we should have a chat.
Definitely. Get on the phone to Netflix. Yeah. Well, guys, thanks very much indeed for joining us.
Good luck with it.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us. It's a pleasure.
No problem at all. There we go. Omar Al Maina and Safwan Madir, owners of the Al Haboob Camel Racing Team.
It's a real sight as well.
Brilliant, isn't it? Yeah. The pace of it all was great. We should send Rupert Bell down, I think. do a bit of commentary.
We'd send Alan, but it's a bit dry.
It's a bit dry for Alan, I think. Yeah, not quite. If they get them to Cheltenham, that'll be fine. But I'm not quite seeing that happening in the future. This is Clink Jacobs here on talkSPORT. A bit later on, we're of course going to look ahead to all of the Premier League action this weekend, including the Wear Tyne derby. Bit of a jittery tummy for that. That might be the Podolski kebabs I had, though, away in Germany. Falls panel a bit later. If you want to get involved with that, 0371722 3344. And Lucy Beaumont is going to join us too, comedian and Hull City fan, of course, star of the Celebrity Traitors as well. So we can ask her a bit about that. This is Clink Jacobs here on talkSPORT. This is Clink Jacobs here on talkSPORT. Clips of the week today is a Simon Jordan special from 3:30. Looking forward to that. We're also going to chat to Lucy Beaumont from the Celebrity Traitors, comedian and Hull City fan very soon. Looking forward to that too. Plenty still to come. But first, here's the sports news with Matt Hutchinson.
talkSPORT Sports Update, powered by the Nissan Van range, supporting van owners to get the job done. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van centre.
Thanks, Ollie. Good afternoon. Arne Slot and Mo Salah are sitting down face-to-face today to discuss his Liverpool future. The manager says the outcome of that chat will determine if the Egyptian will play against Brighton tomorrow. Salah had suggested that could be his last game for Liverpool. Elsewhere, Alan Brazil is wondering why Celtic didn't hold on to Martin O'Neill for the rest of the season. Wilfred Nancy has become the first Celtic boss ever to lose their opening 2 matches.
They change it after one game, they change the formation, we get beat, and then we get absolutely smashed by Roma at Parkhead. And there's a cup final coming up the weekend. If they lose that, imagine this guy, he's going, what have I done?
Well, Evan Ferguson scored again for Roma in last night's win at Celtic. Fabian Hertzler says bringing him back to Brighton early from that loan is an option. Arsenal are not thinking of selling Gabriel Jesus now he's fit again. Mikel Arteta says the Brazilian is now pushing Victor Gyökeres for a starting spot. No news, though, on Saliba's fitness. Arsenal Wolves is live on talkSPORT tomorrow night. Now, would you pay more than 35 quid a minute to be at the World Cup final? Thomas Concannon from the Football Supporters Association says £3,000 for a ticket is disappointing.
And it won't be like previous World Cups where England fans would travel in the thousands, as they should, to Mexico, America and Canada. You know, 3 great countries that we have great relationships with. We could have had a fantastic time, but you'll just see a lot more people will just stay at home and watch it in the pubs.
And finally, across to Ali Pally, where our very own Mark Wilson is lucky enough to be covering the darts. Mark, what can you tell us?
Yeah, good afternoon. Ian White against Mervyn King underway. 2 old stages here. Mervyn King made a real mess of the opening set. He was 2-1 down and he missed multiple darts to level up the set. Intercept Ian White with a breaker throw. He takes out the opening set 3-1 and he's broken King again at the start of set 2. Race to 3, where he'll take on Rob Cross or Core Decker, who play later on. It's all live on talkSPORT 2 on the talkSPORT app and on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube page. Ian White leads Mervyn King by 1-0.
Cheers, Mark. As always, there's plenty more at talksport.com.
talkSPORT News.
A man's been found guilty of murdering his wife 8 years after he was acquitted, and the actor and comedian Stanley Baxter has died aged 99. More from the news team at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. Today it's raining tyres in our centres, including top-notch brands like Pirelli. Visit your local centre or quickfit.com and book today.
We're expecting a dry and bright Friday afternoon for most of the UK. Some showers, though, in parts of central and eastern England, as well as northwest Scotland.
Paddy Power on talkSPORT. With Paddy's Super Sub, your new bet rolls over to the new player coming on. T's and C's and exclusions apply. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
Yeah, it's time now for today's Bet Builder with our friends at Paddy Power. Max Thompson's joining us from Paddy Power. We're looking ahead to Saturday afternoon in the Premier League as Burnley take on Fulham at Turf Moor. Max, good afternoon to you. Please remind us how the Bet Builder works.
Hey guys, so we've got a 5-leg Bet Builder here. So Olly's got a pick, Andy's got a pick, producer Sean's got a pick. The people have a pick, which is the most popular bet on site at the moment. And then I also have a pick, and they all come together for a Bet Builder, which will hopefully win. And all the proceeds will go to our charity partner, which is the Attitude Foundation.
Okay, great stuff.
Good.
Let's go through some of those picks then. I've gone with Samuel Chukwueze to score for Fulham.
Yeah, I'm actually a Fulham fan myself, so I know how good this guy is. He's lining it up for Fulham at the minute. Two goals he got against Man City last week, and he's banging form. He's also going to AFCON after this game, so he'll want to sign off in style.
That was a brilliant comeback by Fulham, almost comeback rather. Oh. It was an incredible game of football.
Yeah, so
here
close.
though, I think Fulham had some results away from home, but generally not great. And Burnley are stronger at home, but not better than Fulham. So I've gone for a draw.
Yeah, it's two teams in pretty poor form, isn't it? Like it's a must-win game for the two of them. They might cancel each other out. Burnley have probably got the worst record with 6 losses in a row. So you think Scott Park would take anything he can get. So yeah, I could see a draw happening here quite easily as well.
Producer Sean, who's sorting his wasp costume for Ali Pally as we speak, has gone for both teams to score.
Yeah, just have to look at the latest Fulham games for this one. The last 3 games have seen both teams to score. They're letting in goals and also scoring goals. So yeah, you could see this one happening as well.
And Max, your pick?
I have gone with over 4.5 Fulham corners. A bit of a niche one, but it's happened in the last 5 of Fulham's last 6 games. So I could see it happening again. Fulham need to score to obviously win. So they'll be going for it, and I could see this one coming in too.
And what about the people, Max? Who have they gone for?
Yeah, the people are going for Harry Wilson, 2 goals in his last 3 games, and they were 2 absolutely amazing finishes. So you'd expect them to at least have a shot on target in this one.
Fantastic stuff. And there's Bet Builder Insurance as well.
It's super sub that applies to the selection. So Chuck Wayzay to score any time, and Harry Wilson shot on target. If either of them come off, the player coming on takes over the bet. Right. And all these selections come in at a Bet Builder of around 37 to 1. So £10 would hopefully return around £384 for our charity partners. So quite a big one.
Max, thanks very much indeed. That's Paddy Power's Bet Builder for today. Minimum odds 1 to 5 per leg. 18 plus. Gambleaware.org.
Paddy Power on talkSPORT. With Paddy's Super Sub, your new bet rolls over to the new player coming on. T's and C's and exclusions apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
I think we're too ambitious. The selection should come out. If they came out at about sort of 15 to 1, but it's always 37, 40.
Yeah.
No wonder we never win.
We're in a bit of trouble there, I think.
Foundation, they can't stand us. They've got a cardboard with our face on it. It's terrible. What are you going to do?
What have you got for me then, Andy?
Well, I did. Where was I? I was going to show you something. Oh yes, no, it wasn't about Onlooker Ben. Where was it? Oh yeah, this is an interesting story. This was a bloke who got fed up with. He owns a curry house, and he got fed up with this massive pothole outside the restaurant. So he baked a naan bread to fit the pothole. Yeah, and people drove over it, and it was quite
a burnt naan bread, I'm assuming.
Yes, it was quite resilient, this naan bread, which doesn't say a lot for the naan bread when you actually eat it, but it was very good as a pothole thing. And people sort of saluted it, and online, people got online, social media, thought it was a good idea, except for one person who fretted about wasting food.
Seriously?
Yeah. It's brilliant, isn't it? Oh, how can you waste it? It's just how much does a large pitta cost? It can't cost that much. It's flour and water, isn't it? And a bit of something to cook it in.
Yeah. Did it come with a bit of mango chutney on the side?
I have no idea.
Pop out your car, maybe have a little bit of a bite.
It's very, very possible. And in the Star today, Keith wrote to the Star and he said, I'm looking forward to seeing Hannah Waddingham on telly over Christmas. Can I have a picture to tide me over till then, please?
Right. Whoa. Okay, Keith. Thanks for your input. Picture might be in the post, but maybe not.
Cold shout for Keith.
Yeah. Who is this onlooker, Ben? Does this relate to the Mo Salah?
Yeah, it just says here a source, because it's always a source and an onlooker. They came in wearing COVID-style masks and had hats covering their faces. How did they even see? And they tried to stay under the radar. Our mouths dropped when we saw them. The immediate thought was, Salah's off to Saudi. Was it? Was it not the immediate thought was, do you want a menu and what do you want to eat?
Yeah. What do you think they did have? Henderson's a spaghetti bolognese man.
He probably is, but he didn't say. The Pals tucked into... Oh, it does. The Pals stayed for 90 minutes and tucked into pasta dishes, washed down by coffee and fizzy water, probably the other way round. I wouldn't think you had the coffee until after the meal, but who knows? Onlooker Ben,
right,
whoever he might be, said Mo looked happy as he listened and took it all in. He kept asking Jordan questions and leant in eagerly to hear what was said. I couldn't believe it, and I couldn't hear it either, let's be honest. It was obvious Jordan was explaining things to Mo. Can you imagine this bloke? Was he just staring at them in this restaurant? Wasn't he embarrassed?
Just no eyes on his own meal. Just watching Jordan Henderson and Mo Salah. By the way, it said about them having COVID masks on. And firstly, do you think they just walked into the wrong restaurant because they couldn't see? And secondly, in all the pictures, they don't have any masks or anything.
No, they took it off to eat.
Took it all off eat.
But the whole thing is, it's stage managed, because if they really wanted to meet and discuss things, they could meet at home, exactly, or the training ground or whatever. Salah in a black top was seen stroking his beard, deep in thought. As Henderson, dressed in a white shirt, who cares, chatted to him in a quiet corner. It's brilliant, isn't it?
It's amazing stuff.
Well done.
Right, well done, Onlooker Ben. Did a good job there.
Really.
Good description, to be fair to him.
Yeah,
done well there. Got anything else for me?
I like this. I'm always fascinated when these stories. I mean, this is quite a sad story, but it's amazing that it actually made the paper. Newsagent G.W. Hurley, run by the same family since 1919, shut its doors on Saturday in Burnham-on-Sea, Somerset. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but I would have thought it was worthy of a national newspaper, but there we go. I'm sure they've done a great job over the years.
Yeah, well done,
guys. Denigrate them or anything like that. Oh, yes, I've got a reader's offer. Do you know Reader's Trousers?
Oh, right. What's this?
This is where basically appears in a tabloid newspaper an incredible offer that you can't resist.
Oh, yeah.
About trousers. And not one, but two fabulous pairs of trousers at a cracking low price, just £18 a pair. Head Buyer's amazing coup, I'm sure it wasn't, brings this incredible value to every reader of this publication. That's right, our Head Buyer has pulled off an amazing buying deal by contracting to take a major trouser factory's entire production. You can imagine one of them was desperate.
Yeah. Well done, Head Buyer, by the way.
Yeah.
Great work.
You imagine he's got these trousers we can't sell them. What are we going to do? Oh, here he comes, the Head Buyer.
The Head Buyer's here.
Yeah.
No need to fret.
The massive commitment enables us to offer readers such sensational value and incredible choice of size and colours.
So which pairs did you go for then?
I didn't bother
Went
really.
for the chinos in the end, did you?
No, they're not really my sort of trousers.
I see.
Retailers will eat their hearts out. They won't. Not only have we beaten most high street shops for value for money, but also for size and fit. Yes, we can fit you whatever your size. That's a proud boast.
I really want to know who they've beaten, by the way, to that. Well done.
I'd love to see somebody really, really massive go in there and they say, no, sorry, we haven't got your size.
Yeah. But they said it was for every reader. What are you talking about? Crazy.
Whatever.
Crazy stuff.
That's good.
Yeah.
You can pick a number if you want.
Can I pick a number?
Yeah.
It's between, what is it, 1 and 200 and...
Yes, you may pick one that was already picked, but it doesn't matter.
That's
Okay,
all right.
go from 1 to 210.
Let's go 77.
77. It's almost certainly gone before, but we'll just check.
Okay. Well, how many's Paul got through now?
Oh, he's got through quite a few.
now,
I keep having to adjust the list.
Oh, right, okay.
Okay, 77. Oh, yes, it's heat plume. Britain will be hotter than Barbados as a 33-degree heat wave saves the summer holidays. But this is a thing that the tabloids love. This. It's either hotter than Mallorca, it's hotter than Barcelona, it's hotter than Death Valley, it's hot. Can't you just say it's hot?
It's just hot.
I don't need to.
I
don't need something to compare something to know that it's hot. Hotter than Malibu, I've got here.
Oh, my word. The paper needs to sell shorts rather than trousers, I reckon, for when this comes along. We're in a bit of trouble, I think. There we go. Any more for the numbers?
We can have one more.
One more. Should we try a different number? 78. Why not? Make it nice and quick.
What a limited offer. Britain is in the grip of a pizza addiction, with some of us gorging on the Italian treat.
Well, did you see that Mo Salah and Jordan Henderson went to an Italian restaurant the other day?
Who'd eat pizza 7 days a week? A bonkers 1 in 20 shovels down their favourite meal every single night, data shows. Researchers describe the UK as being stuck in a pizza rut. You get what they've done there.
Very good.
With busy Brits seeking out easy meals such as pre-made supermarket pizzas from the freezer, or getting the dish from takeaways and home delivery apps.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
Yeah, and they wash it all down with coffee and sparkling water.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably. Well, thanks very much, Andy.
Enjoy that.
I did enjoy that.
Yeah.
Pizza rut. I did enjoy that, to be honest.
Pizza rut was
a bit embarrassed that I enjoyed that, but I did. And this is Clink and Jacobs on talkSPORT in partnership with Toolstation. Gear up for those darker nights with electrical and lighting offers. Next stop,
when your kebab shop fails.
Yeah, pizza shop.
You can go into pizzas.
Get into pizzas. Podolski pizzas.
Call it Pizza Rut.
Yeah, Pizza Rut, that will work. And Britain's addicted to them. So it's a no-brainer, really, isn't it? In just a moment, we're going to be joined by Lucy Beaumont, comedian and Hull City fan. She was on the Celebrity Traitors. So we'll have a chat with her about the fact that she couldn't catch Alan Carr. This is talkSPORT.
Boxing update.
welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it! We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Closer, aren't we, to Christmas, Andy? Well, that's far away. Not far away. I'm going to be out. I'll be out. Good point. Fair point.
Never mind, anyway.
I'll be out in Australia for that, watching the brilliant England cricket team pull off a 3-2 series win. Looking forward to that. But first, we have to bring in Lucy Beaumont, comedian and Hull City fan, because she is on the hunt to save the Christmas pudding. Apparently, the Christmas pudding is rapidly losing its place at the nation's dinner tables as almost half of Gen Z say they've never tried it.
It's their fault as usual.
Their fault again.
They always get the blame for
Gen
everything.
Z, what they like. They've never tried it or simply do not like it, while 2/3 believe it's a dessert reserved for older generations. Lucy Beaumont joined us now. Lucy, how are you?
Hi. Yeah, good, thank you. Yeah. Can you believe it? They've never been forced to try it.
Forced. Are you that sum up why it's not popular?
Well, it's just one of them things, isn't it? If you ask someone if they want it for the first, they're going to say no, aren't they? You have to do it over a number of years, don't you? Sort of grind them down to eventually they like it.
It is a funny thing like that, because it's sort of, I mean, some people genuinely like it, but most people, you eat it because it's a tradition, don't you? And it is a big part of the Christmas Day meal, I think.
Well, exactly. It's not Christmas. It's not Christmas without it, is it? But and did you know it's medieval?
Is it? So how did it come about then?
Well, I partnered with Co-op, so I got in touch with them and said, "Can I pay you to partner with me?" With this, and they were like, "Oh yeah, that." And I'd like to create a medieval section of Co-op, where the Christmas, with other things like scabies and. Well, not, you know what I mean? The other medieval traditions can bring back.
Yeah.
And
mead or something like that.
Mead, yeah.
Mead, yeah.
Herring.
Yeah, have you ever tried it?
What, mead?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm on the cusp of Gen Z, Lucy.
You probably don't remember this, but there used to be you had these medieval banquets. And you go and you pay, and you'd get sort of like mead was the drink of choice, and serving wenches. It was quite old-fashioned sort of idea, really. No wonder it died out. But it wasn't quite a big thing at the time.
Andy, I've got to ask, because with all due respect, you might be representing the older generations of this study. Do you like Christmas pudding? Are you a fan or not?
Yeah, I genuinely really like it. I like the fact that you can put coins in it and see who chokes first.
It's an event in my family, Christmas. Set fire to it and everything like that.
Oh, yeah.
The brandy on it. I'm a big fan, to be honest. I'm probably bucking the trend of some of the Gen Zers.
I did one year set fire to the table, but that's quite common, really.
Yeah, same. I love it. I actually genuinely really like it, and it's like apparently 1 in 4, but only like 1 in 4 households have it now.
Go on, Lucy. Go on.
Oh no, I was just going to say, you're meant to just put it in a cupboard, aren't you, and leave it for a year, and then. Bring it out.
Sounds delicious. It really does.
I love food that you can leave in the cupboard for a year.
Lucy's come on to give it a big push and tell and said, leave it in a cupboard for
Anyway,
a year.
Lucy, we should talk about some of the things you've been up to. I have to confess to being a bit of a fanboy. I seem to, when I wrote down, I seem to have seen everything you've ever done for some reason, but there we go. And so, of course, the big thing recently was the Celebrity Traitors. You're probably a little bit tired of talking about it, but it was a massive thing for the nation in a way that TV often isn't these days.
I know, yeah. I went to Meadowhall Shopping Centre and I had a load of 9-year-olds come up and ask for my autograph. Felt like, like Hannah Montana. I felt like Taylor Swift or someone like that. It was really, I know it's a shame, isn't it? Because there aren't many things that actually people watch all together. But it's just a real clever show, isn't it? Really.
It is.
And if I remember rightly, Lucy, when you were killed, as it were, by the traitors, were you turned around and you got to see them all? So you were the first to find out who they were? I
know, yeah. I was the only one who saw them face to face. I know, yeah, it was amazing. I mean, it was like, on a big chessboard in the middle of the night and stuff. And then my mum just texted me when it was on and saying, whose coat was that? It was too big for you.
Was it a shock to you when you did turn around and found out who they were?
It was so weird. My heart was, I think I swore, really. I think they cut a lot out. But I didn't know. I had no idea it was any of them. I know it's easy when you watch it, but you can't tell. It was really hard.
You've done a lot. You were on the wheel last Saturday. I wanted to answer questions on otters. I thought they should have let you, really.
I couldn't even bring myself to do a video about it or promote it or anything. I was just like, just such an embarrassment to my family. No, it was awful. I lost a cancer survivor £76,000.
Oh yes, no, that was a little bit unfortunate.
Because I didn't know about foxes. It's like some out of brass eye, something.
Out of interest, Lucy, because like Andy says, you've been on so many brilliant shows. You've done the Traitors, The Wheel. I've seen you on Taskmaster as well. Which out of those did you find the hardest?
The Wheel. Anything where I've got to answer questions. Taskmaster's just like my daily life anyway, just trying to get out the door. That's what it's like.
So what are you up to now? And you've got sort of last one laughing we're here is possible thing that you might be doing, but what about gigs and that sort of thing, tours?
Well, no, at the moment I'm just pudding. It's just purely pudding based. With co-op, it's mainly just co-op, really. I genuinely really like. Did you know they've got a resident DJ?
Really?
Co-op?
Yeah, that when you go in and there's music, that's a DJ.
Really?
What? Wow, really? So is it almost like it? Because there's some shops that have their own little radio station, don't they? And they have kind of presenters. Is that what the co-op's doing, or is it just the DJ?
Yeah, it's like pumped into all the co-ops around, but that is an actual DJ playing those tunes.
I might fire off a CV. That's very exciting indeed. Lucy, thank you so much for joining us. Did you want to give one last push for puddings? One last rallying cry?
One last push for puddings and one last push in Manchester Royal Exchange. Me and Johnny Vegas are in a play there after Christmas. Which we're looking forward to.
That'll be fun.
But it's got nothing. But yeah, there's no puddings yet featured in the play.
No pudding. Brilliant stuff. Lucy, have a great Christmas. Enjoy your pudding as well, and hopefully a few more people will. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Take care.
There we go. Lucy Beaumont, comedian, Hull City fan. It is fun, isn't it? She has done so many of those shows that I would love to do. I always think I would be good at Taskmaster and know that in reality I'd be awful.
Oh, it's difficult. Really
awful.
I did do some commercials for Radio Top Man.
Did you? Do you remember the taglines?
Back in the day. Well, the thing is, I was selling American football shirts. This is a long time ago. I mean, we're talking about probably late 70s, early 80s. And when American football, actually, no, it must have been early 80s, because American football started in 81 on TV, and it became popular, like it is now. And the shirts were popular. So I had a concession selling them, and I thought, they had an in-store radio, and I thought, why don't I do an ad for the, because all the ads were for things externally.
Oh, great.
So So I did it, yeah. And
Did you put an American accent, or was it just you?
Oh, yeah, no, I did.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
yeah.
Can you remember it at all? Or?
Well, I can, but I'm not going to do it now. I had an alter ego. I used to do American football reports for, the sort of premium phone lines.
Oh, right.
When you couldn't, basically, I used to listen to American Forces Network radio till about 2 o'clock in the morning. I'd go to a studio, and I'd compile a report of that night's games. And because at that point, you could only find the results next week.
Oh,
you couldn't sort of get the results. So I was first with the results. I did that for a couple of years. It was really successful.
Oh, great. So you can get involved in the TalkSPORT NFL coverage, Andy.
Well,
potentially.
I did the Super Bowl.
Oh, of course.
I've done 2 Super Bowls.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Don't worry about
that. They've signed you up then. Signed up the right person. We're going to dig that Top Man advert out, I think. We'll try.
You'll be lucky to find it.
Now, don't forget, this Saturday, 2 undefeated super middleweights, Diego Pacheco and Kevin Lele Sajo, clash for the WBC Silver and WBO international titles, eyeing a world title shot. Watch live this Saturday, only on DAZN.
Boxing update on talkSPORT with DAZN, the global home of boxing. Sign up now at dazn.com/boxing.
Mo Salah will be spoken to this morning over his future at Liverpool. Anna Slot says he has no reason to not want Salah to stay.
The next time I talk about Mo should be with him, and I have no reasons not wanting him to stay, if that is a little bit of an answer.
Salah had suggested Brighton's visit to Anfield tomorrow could be his last game for Liverpool. Arsenal are now not thinking of selling Gabriel Jesus now that he's fit again. Mikel Arteta says Jesus is now pushing to start ahead of Victor Gyökeres. No news, though, on Saliba's fitness. Arsenal v Wolves is live on talkSPORT tomorrow night. Alan Brazil's wondering why Celtic didn't hold on to Martin O'Neill for the rest of the season after Wilfred Nancy's become the first Celtic boss to lose his opening 2 matches.
But they change it after one game. They change the formation. We get beat. And then we get absolutely smashed by Roma at Parkhead. And there's a cup final coming up the weekend. If they lose that, imagine this guy, he's going, what have I done?
Now, would you want to pay 35 quid a minute to be at the World Cup final? Thomas Concannon from the Football Supporters Association says £3,000 is disappointing.
It won't be like previous World Cups where England fans would travel in the thousands, as they should, to Mexico, America and Canada, 3 great countries that we have great relationships with. We could have had a fantastic time. But you'll just see a lot more people will just stay at home and watch it in the pubs.
And at 43 years old, Jimmy Anderson's been named as Lancashire's captain for next season's county championship.
Good afternoon, this is Clink Jacobs here on talkSPORT. I'm Olly Clink in for Paul Hawksbee today. Plenty of Premier League football coming up, of course, this weekend. Plenty to get stuck into. It's the Weartime derby.
Yeah, the thing is, I was just asking you who Manchester United have got this weekend, and I see that they're playing Monday night again. I think that's wrong. I don't think clubs should be asked to play two, because if you're a fan, this is typical of people who do this. If you're a fan of a club, there's nothing worse. The whole week, you might as well not have a weekend when you're playing Monday night.
Yeah,
to ask the fans to do that 2 weekends running, I think is wrong.
Yeah, because every now and then you can understand it, and at least your team's on telly, for example. But 2 weeks in a row, it's not your weekend, is it?
Nope.
And that's what people live for, of course. Let's welcome in Dean Ashton, former West Ham striker, to go through all of the Premier League action coming up. Dean, how you doing?
Good, thanks. Afternoon, gents. Hope you're both well.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
thanks.
really.
We've noticed now that the 8 o'clock Saturday night fixture, it started as a sort of, they just, might occasionally, now they've just put it on all the time. I think, that's so wrong. It's just not a time for football, that, for me.
I totally agree. I hate it. I hate that late game. Like you said, you want to be able to enjoy other things at times. That's a great opportunity too, but you at the same time want to get drawn into the football. So I think you're right.
Anyway, we can't stop it. That's what's going to happen. We should look at some of the fixtures. Obviously, there'll be a lot of eyes on Liverpool-Brighton, won't there, this week with all that's gone on with Salah. I'd be amazed if he starts. I'd be amazed if he's even in the squad, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I found it embarrassing the way he acted, certainly at Ellen Road, staying behind, on his own in front of the supporters, making a big show of that. And then the way he spoke to the press, he knew exactly what he was doing and how much that would hit with what he said. I thought Arne Slot handled it brilliantly today, sort of just kept very calm about it. I think he'll be involved and I think he'll play a part. I don't think from the start, but I think he'll come on because it could be his last game. And I think there is a certain amount of respect still for Mo Salah, that he will give him some game time against Brighton. Obviously, the state of the game might dictate that, but I think he will play some part. What's going to be interesting is the Liverpool supporters, because Anfield's felt a little strange in a couple of the games that I've been to recently. The Sunderland one in particular, wasn't till the last 10 or 15 minutes that we really felt, that ferocity from the Liverpool support. It hasn't felt like a place that teams are scared to go anymore. I just wonder whether what Salah's done will kind of ramp that up this weekend.
It is interesting, though, isn't it, Dean? Because you'd expect him, as you say, to get quite a rapturous welcome if he does make it onto the pitch. What does that say about Arne Slot's position, Arne Slot's popularity? It's a bit undermining.
You can't take away what he's done for Liverpool. No one can take that away. He's been absolutely brilliant for them. And, I don't think that's in dispute. But it's time. It feels like the right time. And I think he thinks it's the right time. And I'm sure when he says somebody in the club wants me out, I'm sure that's somebody above Slot who's thinking, blimey, 400 grand a week for this, because he's not the player he was. He isn't.
Yeah, you make a great point. And, his performances are warranted in being dropped from the team. No one should be guaranteed a place in the starting 11. Your performances have to still live up to the standards that he set. And look, I don't think in any way, shape or form Arne Slot can go up against Mo Salah in terms of trying to take him on with the Liverpool supporters, because Salah still holds a lot of weight for what he's done for the football club. But they won't be happy with the way he's acted. But one thing I would say about Salah is in any time that he's spoken, there's not an ounce of unprofessional in the way that he still conducts himself, and he'll train and he'll be ready to play, and the ability to impact games.
We've got to talk about the Wear Tyne derby, Dean, as a Newcastle fan. It's a strange one because heading into it, Newcastle are actually 5 unbeaten. But when you look at the game on Wednesday night against Leverkusen, once again, it's a late goal that they concede when they were leading. Same can be said about the Tottenham game too. And that's their big issue at the moment, isn't it? Newcastle is throwing away leads, and especially it's conceding goals in the last 10 minutes of games. I think it's 9 so far this season that they've let in late on.
Yeah, it's a big problem, and maybe it's down to some of the changes and maybe not freshening as much as they would have liked to, Newcastle. But what Sunderland have had is consistency. That's what they've had over their neighbours, and it's only when this fixture suddenly comes around you remember what an unbelievable fixture it is. Some of the goals that we've seen and the incidents over the years with Defoe's volley. Shearer scoring, in his last derby at Sunderland, and then David Vaughan with that strike and Di Canio. It's got so much history. This fixture. I'm so glad it's back. And actually, I think both teams are in a similar position, really, in terms of their form. That it's really hard to call.
Tell you what's interesting: the odds for Arsenal Wolves. Arsenal 1-8 on in a 2-horse. Well, it's a 3-horse race because you've got the draw. Wolves 28-1. I mean, they might as well be 28 million to 1. They've got absolutely no chance of winning this game, have they? Let's be honest.
No, it doesn't feel that way. They've not shown anything that suggests that they will do. And Rob Edwards is constantly searching and criticising parts of the performance and the desire of his team. Going to the Emirates is going to be so tough off the back of a really good European win, being able to rest players like Saka, who I'm sure will come back in. I think what's more interesting about this game is just how Arsenal look in attack, who plays, the injuries that they've got, how is it affecting them? That's the bigger story, really, than whether they'll win the game or not.
If anything illustrates the fickle nature of football, it's Enzo Maresca, manager of the month for November. Oh, what's happened since then? It's an absolute disaster, isn't it? And he is under pressure. I personally don't think whatever happens, even if they lose tomorrow, I don't think they'll get rid of him until the end of the season. I think they'll stick with him the whole season. He probably deserves that, I think.
I think he very much deserves it. And I think that he's shown that he can, when his players are fit, and that is a big if at the moment. I know Arsenal are moaning about injuries, and rightly they should, but Chelsea I think have had an awful run of injuries and players that have come in and out, and it's very unsettling, I would say, to the side. The back line have had injuries. Obviously Colwell, I think, is an excellent player, has been missing for a long time. So I haven't heard actually many people talk about the amount of injuries that Chelsea have had. Delap comes back in, out again. Palmer, is he really fit? I think there's some big questions still about the players, but when he has those players available, I would match them against anyone in world football. That he's capable of putting a team out and with the right tactics to beat everybody.
But you imagine Everton, who've got a very good away record and are very difficult to beat. That's going to be the sort of opposition that Chelsea struggle against.
Yes, I think so. It's difficult, but I think that's where, if Cole Palmer is fit and obviously played a few minutes, he is exactly the type of player, as he's shown already against Everton. We can remember that goal where he flicks it through the legs and then whips it into the corner. He's that type of player that you need when a team is going to sit deep and make it really difficult for you. and I don't know about everybody else, but I personally want to see Palmer back playing and absolutely at his best, ready to possibly be selected in the summer.
I agree. I mean, I think Chelsea's whole season depends on that. I think if he doesn't come back and hit form, they're going to struggle.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Dean, thanks very much. You're going to stay with us for the Falls panel. If you want to get involved with the Falls panel, 03717223344. We're going to predict the scores in just a moment. By the way, the latest episode of the talkSPORT Daily podcast is available now as well. Jeff Stelling and Gabby Agbonahor discussing whether Leeds fans owe Daniel Farke an apology and if we're seeing the beginning of Arsenal's title collapse. So if you want to hear more, than the talkSPORT Daily is available on all podcast platforms now. Let's check in on the World Darts Championship, shall we, over at Ali Pali. Mark Wilson.
Yeah, good afternoon, guys. Into a deciding set for the first time in the tournament. Ian White 2 and Mervyn King 2. Ian White led by 2-0, but King twice dragged himself off the canvas, with White a leg away from victory. In fact, in the last set, Ian White missed double 12 to win the match. King stepped in to take out 48 in 2 darts. So we're going into a decider. It's live right now over on talkSPORT 2 on the talkSPORT app and on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel. It's Ian White 2, Mervyn King 2.
PDC World Darts Championship update on talkSPORT with Village Hotels. Hit the bullseye this Christmas with a darty party at Village. Enjoy flights of festive fun with our interactive darts lanes. Available at locations across the UK.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We've been taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it! We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Time for the Falls panel here on Clink and Jacobs on talkSPORT. I'm Olly Clink in for Paul Hawksby this afternoon, but we're going to predict some Premier League scores. First, let's go through the standings. Andy, the Great Escape is on.
Yes.
At the bottom of the table, 4 points last week.
Not bad.
So you're up to 19. I thought it was over for you. I thought you were having a Wolverhampton Wanderers season, but you've climbed back into it. The Callers are then just above you. It was Lee, the Hull City fan last week. He did well as well. 4 points for him. 25 the Callers move on to. Then it's Paul. I can only improve on this. Nil points. Nothing for Paul.
Oh, no.
26 points. I think he said Wolves would get a draw against Manchester United.
Really?
So I'm in for Paul this week. Luckily, he got 0. Then it was this commentator. You heard of it? Olly Clink, useless. 1 point.
Oh, dear.
Oh, my word. 29 points the commentators move on to. And then the pros. Stan, right at the top on 34 points because he also got just 1 point. So, Andy, you did really well there, I think, along with the callers. Let's say hello to today's caller, George, the Ipswich fan. How you doing, George?
I'm very well, thank you, Ollie.
Good. Good. How are you feeling about Ipswich's season so far?
Yeah, a poor start, slow start, but I'm pleased now. We picked up 2 really big home wins over the last 7 days, and we've got to go to Leicester tomorrow and hopefully another 3 points. So we'll be right on the heels of the top 2 then.
Yeah, he kept the manager. He could easily have gone to Celtic. I mean, I think they were very.
Yeah, it's very true. Very true. Interesting.
Yeah. No, he'll be fine. He'll be fine.
Good.
Yeah, good stuff. Let's say hello to our commentator this week, Nigel Adley. Nigel, how you doing, mate?
We can see you, Nigel, but for some reason we can't hear you.
Speaking, but
we
can't. Oh, there he is.
Are. Sort of hear it.
There we are.
Ah, marvellous.
Can you hear me? Good afternoon.
There he is.
Done,
how you doing, Nigel?
I'm very good, thanks. Yeah, looking forward to the weekend. I'm actually doing George's game, Leicester against Ipswich, so should be a cracker in the Championship tomorrow.
Oh, good stuff. So you'll both have keen eyes on that one. Right. Dean Ashton is also still with us, of course, our professional. And we're going to start with you, Dean, with our first game, Arsenal against Wolves, 8 o'clock kickoff. It's live and exclusive on talkSPORT. Dean.
Away win, sorry.
Who are you going for?
Yeah, I'm not going to do a poll and go for a draw. I think it's obviously an Arsenal win. It's just where do you pitch it? I think they'll run right, actually. I think they'll have a good afternoon, Arsenal. I'm going to go 4-0.
4-0, okay.
I'll put that down myself.
Oh, have you really? Oh, don't spoil it, Andy. We'll come to you a bit later. Now, what about you, Nigel Adley, representing the commentators? You're going to do better than the fella last week, I'll tell you that now.
Well, I hope so. But it's interesting because Wolves' hierarchy have come out this week and said that the transfer business during the summer wasn't good enough, which we could probably say is borne out by the results, but it's not great if you're trying to motivate a team to play Arsenal tomorrow. So I think they'll get hammered, and I think it will be 3-0.
3-0, okay.
It must be miserable, mustn't it?
Nigel Adley, yeah, I can't.
It'll be horrible.
Yeah, I can't see anything different. Do you know what? I think it might be even more of a battering. I'm going to say 5-0 to Arsenal. Poor old Wolves and their supporters, but I just thought they were so poor against Manchester United as well. So, difficult day for them at the Emirates. George, the Ipswich fan, what are you going for?
Yeah, well, I'll be honest, I've got a very good friend of mine, Dave, if I give him a shout out. He goes home and away, Wolverhampton Wanderers. So, yeah, he's suffered a lot this season. I hope he's not listening. I'm going to go with a comfortable home win, 3-0. I would go for more, but not if Dave's listening, because he'll never let me forget it.
I hope he's listening. We need the figures.
Okay, 3-0 for George, the Ipswich fan. Andy, I reckon you're going to go 4-0 here.
I am, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, yeah, safe
to Wolves? Or no, Arsenal. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. So, Andy, you've gone for 4-0. talkSPORT listener at home in the car? Okay, let's move on. Game Day Live is with Sam Matterface, Dean Ashton, Mickey Gray and Perry Groves. And one of the games featured there, which Mickey Gray will be at, is Sunderland against Newcastle, the Wear Tyne derby. Let's start with Mr. Dean Ashton. What are you going for?
Oh, I think this is so difficult to call. But I actually fancy Newcastle to get this. By the odd goal, I've gone Newcastle 2-1.
Ooh, 2-1. A tense one, a tight one. What about you, Nigel?
Well, I think Newcastle had a big game in the week. Of course, disappointment in the end against Leverkusen, even though they played quite well. Sunderland have had a free week, and I think that could be a key factor. I think Sunderland will win 2-1.
Okay. Oh, interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Now it's me. I've got to go with heart overhead or whichever way around. I mean, I've got to go for a Newcastle win, haven't I? It's going to be a really tough game, but I think if they do win, they'll take control of it. I'm going to go 2-0 Newcastle. Let's go for George, the Ipswich fan. George, what are you going for? We've had 2 wins for Newcastle so far. What are you going to go for?
Yeah, I'm going to sit on the fence, I think. I'll go for the Desmond. I think there will be goals. 2-2.
There we go, 2-2 then. George thinks at the Stadium of Light. Andy, what are you going for?
It's often a very tight game. This is a tight old game, and I don't see any difference. Sunderland's home form is excellent. Newcastle have been improving, even if the results haven't, but I'll give this a 1-1.
1-1, okay, there we go. talkSPORT listener at home or in the car. Okay, moving on. Manchester United against Bournemouth is live on Monday night. It's an 8 o'clock kickoff. It is live on talkSPORT exclusively. Dean Ashton, what are you going for this one?
I think everything says that, Manchester United should win this with Bournemouth's form, not winning in 6. But they've had some tough games, and this is exactly the type of game where Manchester United go backwards. I actually fancy Bournemouth to get a 1-1 draw.
Okay.
Interesting.
1-1. Nigel Adley.
I agree with Dean, to be honest. I mean, United have had their problems at home this season. When you think they've turned the corner, they go back to Old Trafford and they've thrown in a poor result. And I think Bournemouth will get better again, and I think it will be 1-1.
1-1, okay. Well, I was at Bournemouth-Chelsea last week, Andy. And
cracker, wasn't it?
God, what a game. One of the best 0-0s I've ever seen. Well worth travelling to football. But I thought Bournemouth were good. I think they could have won that game too. So I'm actually going to go for a 1-0 Bournemouth win here. Let's go to George, the Ipswich fan. George, what do you fancy?
I'm going to buck the trend here. I think United, if they get an early goal, a good start, and the crowd get up, I can see them winning it 3-1.
Okay.
3-1.
Quite a comfortable one then.
They're quite a difficult team to predict, United.
They are.
At times they look like, they turned the corner, and other times they look like they haven't. Yeah. This is the last game, isn't it, for Ahmad and Mbeumo before they go off to the AFCON, so they're going to miss them, but they'll want to make a statement. I agree with you. Bournemouth played well last week. I think they can get a draw here. I think there'll be goals. I'm going 2-2.
2-2. Okay. There we go. George, thank you very much for joining us. You heading to that game, that Ipswich game?
I can't, unfortunately. I do live in the Midlands, but I've got a work commitment. But I'll be listening to it on talkSPORT, obviously.
Well, Nigel will be keeping you across it, won't you?
Thank you.
Yeah, Nigel, I bet you're looking forward to that one.
I am, yeah. I thought you got me on to look ahead to Tranmere Crew with Dean Ashton, so that's a disappointment. That's been glossed over. But
how's that going to go? Go on, while you're here.
Yeah, quick.
Well, it's so long since Crew won at Prenton Park. I think Dean was playing 25 years.
Okay, no extra points if you predict that one right, by the way, Nigel, I'm afraid.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, Nigel. And Dean, thanks very much for joining us as well.
Pleasure, thanks, guys.
There we go, Dean Ashton there. So, I mean, it's interesting because I'm in for Paul. I can try. I went a bit bold there, I think.
Yes,
I can. Sorry about that, Paul. If it goes disastrously wrong, but it'll be because I've done it for Paul and not myself. It will go brilliantly, won't it? I'll get loads of points.
Yeah, that's true.
Always seems to happen. Plenty still to come on Clink and Jacobs. We're going to be chatting with Charlie Quirk, son of Pauline Quirk, big West Ham fan. He's doing a fundraiser for Alzheimer's, a huge charity walk which he's on right now. So looking forward to chatting to him, and of course we'll get a roundup of the everything going on in the States in terms of sports. Todd Macklin, and clips of the week this week is a Simon Jordan special, so that should be good fun. This is Clink and Jacobs here on talkSPORT. This is Clink Jacobs here on talkSPORT. A bit later on, we'll bring you the best bits of all the managers' press conferences. Looking ahead to the Premier League weekend, we'll also bring you a Simon Jordan Clips of the Week special. First, though, here's the sports news with Matt Hutchinson.
talkSPORT Sports Update, powered by the Nissan van range. Scoring a winning hat-trick of performance, payload and price. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van Centre.
Thanks, Ollie. Good afternoon. I have no reason to want him to leave Liverpool. The words of Arne Slot, who's having face-to-face talks with Mo Salah today about his Liverpool future. The Egyptian king had suggested tomorrow's game against Brighton could be his last for the club. Well, Slot's also been asked who made the call to drop Salah earlier this week.
We've decided as a club, and I was part of that decision, not to take him towards the Inter Milan game. I'm always in contact with them, but when it comes to the decision-making of the lineup or the squad, they always leave that open to me.
Elsewhere, Arsenal won't be selling Gabriel Jesus in January. That's according to Mikel Arteta. He returned to action earlier this week after spending 332 days out with a knee injury. As Pep nears 10 years at City, his assistant, Kolo Touré, says the Spaniard isn't showing any signs of slowing down.
The energy that he still have is incredible every day. The passion he brings in every meeting, in the training session, he's enjoying himself every single day.
Well, City are at Palace on Sunday. Over to the other half of Manchester, Harry Maguire and Matthias de Ligt are out of United's clash against Bournemouth on Monday night. Benjamin Sesko is also a doubt for that one. And last but not least, Sir James Anderson may not be wanted by England, but he is by Lancashire. He'll be the Red Roses' Red Bull captain next summer. Anderson turns 44 in July.
talkSPORT News.
A man's been found guilty of murdering his wife in a rare retrial, and a surge of flu cases and strikes could put NHS patients at risk. More from the news team at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. This winter, treat yourself to the Bridgestone Turanza All-Season 6 tyres with a 20,000 tyre mileage guarantee. Book today at quickfit.com. Conditions apply.
We're expecting a dry Friday evening with a few showers in northwest Scotland.
Yes. Good afternoon, this is Clink Jacobs here on talkSPORT. Now, with the PDC World Darts Championship underway and just 1 week to go, talkSPORT and Pitch Experiences are giving you the chance to be there at the event of the year on the 23rd of December. You and three mates could be living it large with platinum seats, fine dining, a complimentary bar and exclusive access to the 501 Lounge with Russ the Voice Bray. Then it's straight to your prime arena table for the best view in the house. Get ready for an unforgettable Ali Pally Christmas. Here's how to enter.
Russ was great on the talkSPORT darts. Brilliant. For your chance to win, text darts to 83338. Text costs £2 plus your standard network rate. Or call 034 342 17508. That's 034 342 17508. Lines close 4 p.m. 18th of December. That's when you'll need to answer your phone if it rings. 18 plus and UK residents only. So for your chance to win, text darts to 8338 now. 83338 now. This is a network promotion. Full T's and C's at talksport.com.
How was the darts, by the way? Because I was away.
Oh, you did it last year, didn't you?
I did, yeah. I was Russ Bray last year.
You were, yeah.
I'm sure he did a much better job.
He did, to be honest.
A bit of a professional, isn't he?
To be honest, he's got a bit of an advantage over you. Having officiated at World Championships for about 25 years. But no, he was great.
And Dean won, did he? Dean Saunders?
Dean won. The whole day was just a lot of fun.
Oh, good stuff.
There were some great moments when Andy Goldstein got knocked out and people loved it.
I bet that brought the house down.
It did.
Oh, good stuff, good stuff. Now, the son of the Birds of a Feather star, Pauline Quirk, Charlie Quirk, is currently on an 87-mile fundraising walk for Alzheimer's research. He's been taking in iconic locations from his mother's life and career. Pauline was sadly diagnosed with dementia back in 2021, but Charlie is currently on the walk right now and joins us. Charlie, how are you getting on?
Hi, boys. I'm good. I'm sore. I'm really quite emotionally, drained and physically drained. But yeah, I'm so close to seeing my mum, and we've raised such an amazing amount of money, so it's going well.
And your mum's so loved, and the things that she appeared in, especially Birds of a Feather, but also her whole wonderful career. I imagine people are really supporting you and helping you.
It's been overwhelming. West Ham have been amazing. They took me to the training ground, gave me a shirt. And all the iconic places we've been to, but the public, the outpouring of love and the donations and the messages has been beyond what we ever imagined. It's just testament to my mum as a person, really.
And tell us a little bit about the journey you've been on, Charlie. I think you started in Chigwell, where Birds of a Feather was set.
Yeah, started Monday morning, bright and early, and I've just sort of made my way through to Islington, where my mum sort of grew up and trained at Anna Scher's, then all the way through Richmond into Windsor Castle, where my mum got her MBE, and now I'm at the Pauline Quirk Academy headquarters, which is my mum's drama schools, and it's been a whirlwind. It really, really has. It's an incredible trip I've been on.
And how's she doing in herself? Obviously, dealing with this is not easy for anybody.
No, it's not. She's amazing. She's the funniest person in the world, and she's still got that. She's exactly what you expect from Pauline Quirk. She's laughing, and she's just incredible, and she's over the moon with what I'm doing here, and raising funds for Alzheimer's Research UK. As a family, we think it's important to let people know that what we're going through and what they're going through, we're all in it together.
And I saw you speaking about her, Charlie, too, about how much of a role model she really is, and that's what influenced you to get into acting and presenting yourself.
Yeah, if you grow up with, in my opinion, one of the best actresses this country has ever made, and also one of the best people, it's hard not to want to try emulate that. And I think I can safely say I'm doing her really, really proud on this trek.
And you mentioned you must be a bit exhausted. Is it a few blisters as well? Gonna try and get through that?
Yeah, both ankles are strapped up, both knees are strapped up, but it's literally round the corner. I've got about 5K left, so yeah, the finish line is in sight now.
You mentioned West Ham there, and you're a fan and all that, and I think you should be encouraged a little bit, because after the Potter era, which was, let's be honest, a complete disaster, Nuno looks to have brought something to the club, and they look much harder to beat now.
Yeah, I think he's brought a stability to the club, and it's always been a family-orientated club, and I think he's brought that back. He did the children's photos of the players in a warm-up, and it just feels like a good place to be playing, and you can see it on the pitch, the defensive stability. But we need some goals, don't we, lads? We need some goals. So yeah, exactly. I'm available. I can clearly walk fast. So maybe I can.
Bit of a rest first, and then they'll get you in. But it's Villa up next, which is a tricky one, isn't it? You're at home, but Villa are on fire at the moment.
They've won 8 games in a row. Nobody wins 8 games in a row. No. It's got to end sometime.
I'll be there as well. The club have invited me up away from my season ticket into the players' lounge. So maybe I can G him on a bit, and we'll see what we can get out of it.
That'll be brilliant.
Yeah, great. So maybe if you have a word with a few of the players in the lounge, tell them about what you can do on the pitch, that you might find yourself in the team as well, Charlie, which is really exciting. And just tell us a bit more about what the club have done to support you on this walk too.
They welcomed me into Chadwell Heath on a day off, which was incredible. They presented me with a brand new shirt saying Quirk 140 for the amount of kilometres I'm doing. That really spurred me on. They've put it on their website and their Instagram, and they have helped. The donations we've had is over the £150,000 mark, and they helped with that. They donated to charliestrek.org, and they've really changed the course of this, and they made me feel loved, and our family really supported. It's been incredible.
That's tremendous. What a tremendous amount of money. Was your mum a football fan?
Yeah, she still sits with me and my dad through West Ham games. So that's the beautiful time we have together. That's what sport can do. It brings us together through the good and the bad times. But yeah, we're a family, and we've always been close. So it's amazing.
And it's such a great figure you just mentioned there, Charlie. How can people get involved? What's the best way for them to donate to your cause?
The best way is online at charliestrek.org. and you can write a nice message for me, which I can see on my final leg, or you can text Charlie 10 or Charlie 20 to 70255, and every penny goes straight to Alzheimer's Research UK, and I'm overwhelmed with the support we've had. I really am.
Fantastic. How far have you got to go?
About 5 kilometres, but it's up a very steep hill. So I've got that straight after this. Yeah.
No, that's not a good thing.
Oh, I thought you'd have given yourself an easy end there, Charlie, but right to the end, you're battling away. But that's fantastic stuff. Good luck with it, and good luck.
Congratulations. Well done. That's a tremendous
Thank you for having me, lads. I really appreciate it. It's a dream come true for a boy to be on talkSPORT, so thank you.
Yeah,
Excellent.
no problem. No problem at all.
Give us send our best to your mum, obviously.
I will. Thank you.
There we go. Charlie Quirk there. And like you say, you can donate at charliestrek.org. 5K with a steep hill at the end. He's gone the whole hog there, hasn't he?
Reminds me of Celebrity Race Across the World last night. Did you see that?
I didn't see it. No, what happened?
What a finish. It was like a sporting event. And the finish was exactly as you described there, completely uphill, difficult in a difficult terrain.
Who won?
No, I don't think we should say.
Spoil it.
No
Let's
spoilers.
Not spoil it.
Producer went mad there. He obviously hasn't seen it. Goodness sake, mate.
He's just said he's watching it tonight. We won't give anything away then.
No, we won't, and we shouldn't. But it's a wonderful programme.
Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, and good luck to Charlie. Good luck to West Ham at the weekend. I mean, that's a tricky game, isn't it?
Yeah, very
Aston Villa. Let's check in on the darts then. The World Darts Championship at the Ali Pali. Ian Danter is watching for talkSPORT.
Well, I'm just checking, Ollie, that can actually give out scores. If it's not going to be your producer, I'm going to tell him.
Well, he is at the darts next week, Dan.
Don't tell him. Oh, look out for him. Ryan Searle is currently on stage at the moment. Heavy metal. The number 20 seed is already a set to love up against Chris Lammen of the Netherlands, and he's 1-0 up in the second set is Ryan Searle. We've just seen Mervyn King and Ian White battle it out in a fairly low quality encounter, it must be said. Ian White went 2 sets to 0 up. King, not at his best, somehow battled back to 2-2, but Ian White got the job done to win by 3 sets to 2. Neil Zonneveld won earlier this afternoon, beating Hapai Puha of New Zealand 3 sets to 0. And Rob Cross, the 2018 world champion, is up last of all this afternoon. He's got a chance to go through, but he's up against the tricky Norwegian Kåre Dekker. All the action is live on talkSPORT 2, on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel, and every dart of this year's championship can also be heard via the talkSPORT app.
PDC World Darts Championship update on talkSPORT with Village Hotels. Hit the bullseye this Christmas with a darty party at Village. Enjoy flights of festive fun with our interactive darts lanes. Available at locations across the UK.
You can take your fingers out your ears now, Sean, now that Dance has given you the darts update. Mervyn King, not quite at his best, Dance said there. Maybe focusing on banking a bit too much.
Yes,
potentially. This is Clink and Jacobs here on talkSPORT in partnership with Toolstation. Stay one step ahead, whatever the job. Next stop, Toolstation. Coming up next, we're going to be checking in with Todd Macklin, who's going to tell us about all of the latest stories from the States.
And welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it! Oh!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
This is Clink Jacobs on talkSPORT. It's time to have a look at some of the stories from across the pond with Todd Macklin. Todd, how you doing?
What a great accent.
That's awful.
Ollie, that was fantastic.
That was nice. I thought it was in America there for a minute.
It's far too nice of you there, Todd. Todd, before we get going with some of the other stories, obviously the ticket price of the World Cup have caused a bit of a stir over here. How have they gone down over in the States?
Well, in Canada, where Todd is, especially.
Yeah. You know what? Not that big a deal. I just think it feels like we're used to paying exorbitant prices for tickets for events. And that's why I don't think it's as big a deal here as it is kind of outside of North America. You had some people like, wow, that's a big ticket, pardon the pun. But I just think, when you think what Super Bowl tickets cost, NBA tickets, especially for something like the NBA Finals, we all know it's a gouge, right? Like these organizations, these leagues are gouging us with ticket prices, and we're just kind of numb and we're used to it.
The last big event you had there, of course, the World Series with your beloved Blue Jays. What were the ticket prices like for that? I imagine pretty high.
Too high.
Really? Too high.
Listen, with all these things, right? It's people are like, hey, well, the average fan can't afford it. Well, these places are still sold out. So the bottom line is this. If the ticket prices are too high, the stadium will be empty and they'll have to bring the prices down. But people are paying these prices, right? There are enough people that have the money to pay for these prices that need to be at these World Cup games or World Series games or whatever it is. There enough people find a way to pay the high prices.
Is there any worry, though, that for some of the games in the group stages, I mean, for sake of argument, with no disrespect, Qatar, Switzerland, for example, is there a worry that there won't be that kind of demand, especially because the tickets are so highly priced?
Great point, Ollie, because there have been talk about that. And, because there was so much anticipation to having World Cup games in Canada. So, whether that's Vancouver, Toronto, so much hype. Hey, the World Cup coming to Canada. You're going to get a Canadian game in those stadiums. But as you mentioned, you're going to get a Qatar, Switzerland game as well. And yeah, I think there is a concern that there's not going to be as many people in the stands for that. But I'll tell you this, if Canada's doing well, then it's not going to be a problem getting fans in the stands for the other games.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. And Canada, all their games in home in effect, home games.
Yeah. It is. And again, too, with the World Cup, the way it's set up too, with the 3 hosts and just the increased amount of teams in it, it's kind of set up, right, for the host to do pretty well. So I think there's a real anticipation that Canada could do well in this tournament. As they said, as long as they do well, it kind of covers everything else.
Now, Todd, we've got to ask you about Snoop Dogg because his love affair with the Olympics continues. He's been named the US honorary coach for the Winter Olympics.
Listen, it feels like you turn on a television channel, whether it's music related, acting related, food related, right? Him and Martha Stewart very close, or sports related. Snoop Dogg is involved with it. And obviously the metrics that NBC got back from their coverage in Paris was that, fans, viewers love Snoop Dogg. So let's make him a part of the games in Milan. And here we are. He's going to be a part of that coverage.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Is that Young, Wild and Ski? Sorry, bad accent, bad jokes, I'm afraid. But yeah, I love it. I love that he's at all these events. He seems to love it. We can see a picture of him there with Olympic ring glasses on, which look fantastic. Cool, yeah. He seems to love it, Andy, yeah.
Good. Good for him.
Yeah, good for him.
What can I add to that? I'm so pleased for him. Anyway, we've talked about LeBron James quite recently, actually, but he's still doing it, isn't he? I mean, he's coming to the end. We all know that, but he still has moments, doesn't he?
And he had a moment the other day. They were playing the NBA Cup semifinal. His Lakers were hosting San Antonio. Unfortunately for the Lakers, they lost to the Spurs. So the Spurs move on to face OKC in the NBA Cup semifinal. But LeBron James had another signature moment. It was what's called a poster dunk. So basically, when you dunk over someone, it's called a poster because they kind of take a picture of that and call it a poster. So for this 40-year-old guy in year 23 to have that kind of poster moment, again, just speaks of how incredible it is that he is performing at such a high level at this point in his career and at his age.
Yeah, we just saw it if you're watching on Connect TV and YouTube. Yeah,
it's some celebration, isn't it, as well? The way that he's screaming at the opponent. Now, talk to us about...
That is part, Ollie, it's part of the poster is you got to look and scream at the guy and kind of like, hey, I just did this to you type of thing.
I tell you what, it's very much like Martin Keown in the face of Ruud van Nistelrooy. If you need a reference point for it, great celebration there. Now, what about the Texans owner, Cal McNair? Because he was aired as he was trying to give a high five, and it was CJ Stroud, I think, who caused a bit of a stir on social media. But eventually, McNair got his high five.
Well, he took it well, didn't he? It was funny.
It was a great moment on social media. So the Texans won another game. The Texans are fighting for a playoff spot. C.J. Stroud, their quarterback, right, fired up, high-fiving all the fans in a row. And then he just blows right by the owner of the team. So if you're going to high-five anybody in a stadium, make sure it's your boss, right? But of course, you're the quarterback. They made a great social media play of this. They show McNair walking around with his hand up, waiting for the high five. And then it comes kind of 3 days later. He took it great. And when you're winning, guys, like the Texans are at the moment as they try and make the playoffs again, you can all have a laugh at this, which everyone in Houston is at the moment.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, it's a great video, that, as well, isn't it? You can just see him walking around waiting for that high five, which eventually comes, as you say there, Todd. Now, what about the Kansas City Chiefs?
Well, it's one of the features of the season. I mean, they've been so strong for so long, but they're really struggling this year, aren't they?
They could find themselves not in the playoffs by the end of this week. So the Chiefs play the Chargers, and if the Chiefs lose that game and another 3 games go against them, the Chiefs, with still 3 weeks left in the season, could be out of the playoffs. Guys, they've made the playoffs 10 straight years. They played in the AFC Championship 7 straight years. They've played in the Super Bowl 3 straight years. And again, unless we have an early Christmas miracle, the Chiefs are not going to make the playoffs, which it seems unheard of and unbelievable to be saying that.
I wonder if Kelsey will retire if they don't make it.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, potentially, yeah. But yeah. Todd, thanks very much indeed.
Thanks, Ollie. Appreciate it.
There we go. Todd Macklin, that US sports expert there. A bit later on, we're going to bring you the best bits from the managers. They've all been speaking today ahead of the Premier League weekend. And in just a moment here on talkSPORT, it's a Simon Jordan Clips of the Week special. This is Clink Jacobs on talkSPORT.
Mo Salah will be spoken to this morning over his future at Liverpool. Arne Slot says he has no reason to not want Salah to stay.
The next time I talk about Mo should be with him, and I have no reasons not wanting him to stay, if that is a little bit of an answer.
Salah had suggested Brighton's visit to Anfield tomorrow could be his last game for Liverpool. Arsenal are now not thinking of selling Gabriel Jesus now that he's fit again. Mikel Arteta says Jesus is now pushing to start ahead of Victor Gyökeres. No news, though, on Saliba's fitness. Arsenal v Wolves is live on talkSPORT tomorrow night. Alan Brazil's wondering why Celtic didn't hold on to Martin O'Neill for the rest of the season after Wilfred Nancy's become the first Celtic boss to lose his opening 2 matches.
They change it after one game. They change the formation. We get beat. And then we get absolutely smashed by Roma at Parkhead. And there's a cup final coming up the weekend. If they lose that, imagine this guy, he's going, what have I done?
Now, would you want to pay 35 quid a minute to be at the World Cup final? Thomas Concannon from the Football Supporters Association says £3,000 is disappointing.
It won't be like previous World Cups where England fans were travelling in the thousands, as they should, to Mexico, America and Canada, 3 great countries that we have great relationships with. We could have had a fantastic time. But you'll just see a lot more people will just stay at home and watch it in the pubs.
And at 43 years old, Jimmy Anderson's been named as Lancashire's captain for next season's county championship.
Clips of the Week on talkSPORT with Toolstation. Our friendly colleagues are right behind you at over 580 stations. Next stop, Toolstation.
talkSPORT Clips of the Week.
Yeah, it's time now for Clips of the Week, thanks to Toolstation. Before we get going, Andy, I believe you had a letter about...
Yes, Paul had a text rather than a letter. It didn't come in the post.
Yes.
Paul Carey.
Sent it last week.
DM'd me and he said, read the Simon Jordan special. I actually heard him say that he didn't know the answer to a question he was asked yesterday, which is an absolute first. Unfortunately, I didn't know at the time, although this should go down in history.
Wow. Well, we'll have to find that, put that out. That'll be a million hits, I reckon, on the talkSPORT social media channels. I'll get us going then, Shallow. Let's kick off with the man himself, Simon Jordan, giving us some key insight into managerial appointments.
It's about trying to fit with what you've got, what you're trying to achieve, how you're trying to achieve it, but also it's about how you get on with that person when you're sitting there interviewing them, and I hit them really hard.
Yeah, I thought that was very helpful, but there we go.
Host of the talkSPORT boxing podcast there.
Steve Bruce got that thing on.
Yeah, that's why they don't come back.
Anyway, here's Simon now, speaking very highly of heavyweight boxer Derek Chisora.
Is perceived to be, pound for pound, one of the best fighters in the world.
But at least Eric's putting himself in the frame, Simon.
Of course.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Here's Simon Jordan breaking some wind.
And of course, if you're insistent upon a certain level of remuneration for this fight, you're going to have more challenges.
I love that. I can imagine Jim reacting. Yeah, I'm breaking news, you're breaking wind, Simon. That's what's going on here on the 17th floor.
Of course it is. You might not be aware of this, but Simon Jordan has a massive obsession with a certain 70s rock band. Seriously, you'll never guess who it is.
But it kind of, those sort of things make you believe that Cardiff just don't have the luck.
Yeah, he really likes them.
Yeah, great band, to be fair. This is the day, great song. Right, now for the prize for the worst ever Gordon Taylor impression.
Gordon Taylor's default setting in a press conference was, football's always survived, it will always survive, and it will always carry on as it always has.
It's really terrible.
Needs some work, I think.
It does a little bit.
Needs a bit of work.
It's this week's, now it's time for this week's Carry On Simon special.
People that can boot the ball in the back of the net, absolutely. You just carry on whatever you're doing there. I was taken by whatever you're doing there.
Cleaning my ring.
Simon, tell them about the poll you did on Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, I just put up a poll. I just put up a poll that I was sort of waxing lyrical through, but I put up a poll.
There's a lot of polls he put up there.
Yeah. Right, time now for Simon with one of his unique analogies.
But the rules are, I can depreciate my players, and I'll take the risk. I'm the guy that's left with the baby in the cradle that I might want to throw out with the bathwater if I get it wrong.
That's not that one wrong.
That definitely doesn't work. Anyway, here he is now, not very keen on speaking with Fight Night pundit Spencer Oliver.
It's a cracking game that tonight, and it's live on talkSPORT. Newcastle against Brighton. Little Spencer Oliver's on the way.
Oh, great.
You must
get too excited.
Must have felt really special sitting in the gallery.
I'd have walked out maybe, especially knows that Simon was going to hit him very hard, potentially. Right, now, Andy, what do you call those things that fans blew in the 2010 World Cup? Can you remember?
Or if they sell it, then the Man United fans will be out in the street having a party with a bunch of vavulas. Remember those?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Cheers, Bill. Marvellous for the timing. Tremendous.
I love that Jim goes, yeah, do you remember them, Simon?
The
Vuvelas.
Anyway, Simon's partner in crime, Jim White, recalling a famous Simpsons character.
I think that it's incredible that he's come back from an element of self-inflicted harm that he's made of his own life. On the golf course, he's an outstanding golf player, but I think that time has been and gone now. I think he's a sideshow.
Bob?
Brilliant.
Now, this one we are calling, just spit it out, Simon.
But when children are here, then they have to be looked after.
Yeah.
Now, this issue is slightly complicated.
Marvellous. And here's Simon discussing boxing again with Jim.
He's kind of grown on you in a bit, has he, in terms of what he's trying to do?
Not particularly. I understand right now, in the here and now, that the phenomenon of boxing is being dictated.
Sorry, the what, Simon?
the phenomenon.
Oh, that did remind us of something, of course.
Phenomenon. 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 Phenomenon.
I think we get the idea there.
Got it there, I think. Yeah. And finally, Simon discussing club spending in the transfer market.
Conservative in spending decent amounts of money to build up a football team. I suspect they'll go and twist again.
Of course, that reminded us of something else.
Oh, yes.
I'm gonna sing my song. It won't take long. We're gonna do the twist and it goes like this. Come on, let's
Twist again.
like we did last summer. Yeah,
Twist again.
like we did last year.
I think you should bring out an album.
He should. He should. Simon Jordan's greatest hits, which
Twist again. There it is. Anyway, he does a brilliant job. Let's be honest.
he does. He's fantastic, isn't he?
Never short of an opinion, but
No. We'll probably be getting hammered on Monday.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Potentially.
You won't be listening.
No, you won't. Anything in the meantime, by the way, for me?
Well, there you go, really. I'm looking forward to hearing from the managers, actually. 'Cause I think it'll be interesting, especially. I quite like that because you get a bit of insight, really, from, hopefully, anyway. It's just...
Yeah, do you know what? I'm looking forward to hearing from Eddie Howe, especially ahead of this this big game. It could be a huge one in Newcastle's season. So that's all coming next. This is Clink and Jacobs on talkSPORT in partnership with Toolstation. Pick up your wet weather essentials today. Next stop, Toolstation.
Clips of the week on talkSPORT with Toolstation. Our friendly colleagues are right behind you at over 580 stations. Next stop, Toolstation.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it! Oh! Oh! Yeah!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology, Ringo. How did you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
talkSPORT, we bring you all the Christmas storylines. This is the Premier League.
Bring it on.
It comes back to Trossard, and the substitute finishes it up. Wolves rooted to the bottom, and there appears to be no way out. Neto at the far post, and he's jabbed the ball in. Bit of space here for Dewsbury Hall. Onto his right foot, shoots into the far corner, and scores a terrific goal. Soboslai hits it beautifully. Liverpool lead. Welbeck with a header, 1-1. Merry Christmas, everyone. Villa have just given the rest of the Premier League an early gift. A proper title race. Left-footed shot is in. That's the one he wanted. Erling Haaland, left-footed. Mateta picks it up inside the area, and he scored again. New chapter in this northeastern tale of two cities. Jacket deflected, and in. Bruno Guimaraes. Brilliant hit into the corner, and Thiago puts in the rebound to give Brentford the lead. Let's have it back on the edge of the penalty area. Oh, what a goal! Tanaka with an absolute screamer! And Bruno Fernandes rubs salt into the Wolves' wounds. It's 4-1 to Manchester United now.
Yeah, another big weekend of Premier League football. We'll have you covered on the talkSPORT network, and we can hear from some of the managers who've been speaking today. Let's start with Pep Guardiola's assistant coach, Kolo Touré, who's been speaking to the media before their game against Crystal Palace on Sunday. Pep had to withdraw from his media duties due to personal reasons. Kolo Touré's confirmed, though, that Pep is OK and will be back for the game.
Yeah, Pep is fine. It's just a small matter that we didn't bring him here. And but apart from that, everything is fine from him there. He'll be back for sure.
And we're glad that Pep's OK. This is an interesting one, isn't it? Because Crystal Palace definitely the kind of side that could cause a bit of trouble for Man City. I'm actually at this game for talkSPORT as well, and it could have a bit of an impact on the title.
Is it at Palace or is it
at Palace?
It's at Palace. So yeah, it could be a tricky game. I mean, City, they've still got this vulnerability about them. You saw even when they were 5-1 up at Fulham, you know, they still have a propensity to concede, but they are playing well going forward, and they look confident. Palace, though, what a season they're having. I mean, for some reason, you'd think that the European campaign, with their small squad, and it doesn't rotate much, it would affect them, but they're not. You know, they're right up there. They're fourth. They're only 5 points behind City, and if they win on Monday, they'll Sunday, rather, they'll only be 2 points behind them. So, yeah, interesting.
Yeah, it's funny because he does moan a bit, Oliver Glasner, about the fact that his squad doesn't have too much depth. He often asks for more investment. In fact, I think he's already said that it's almost too late to invest even in January because they should have done more business in the summer. But despite that, like you say, it's already been a really good season. You just wonder whether it might catch up with them a bit.
The problem for Palace is that Glasner is going to be in such demand in the summer. Him, Iriola, there's certain, and they'll do well to keep him, you know, especially if they don't back him.
Yeah, as I say, tricky game, that one for Manchester City. It's at 2:00 on Sunday. They're at Selhurst Park. Let's turn to Arsenal. They play live on talkSPORT on Saturday night. They take on Wolves, who are having a miserable time. That game is live and exclusive, like I say, on talkSPORT. Now, the supercomputer, Andy, are giving Arsenal a 72% chance of winning the Premier League.
I thought they meant 72% chance of winning this game. I thought the supercomputer had gone completely mad.
Yeah, that's got to be in the 90s, hasn't it? Surely.
But really, a 72% chance? I think that's too high.
Well, I tell you what, Mikel Arteta has responded to that 72% chance of winning the league.
I don't know. The computer says it was the same that the computer said the last 5 games or the next 5 games. I don't know. The only thing that we can do is increase the probability of winning the next match by doing the things that we do really well and preparing the best possible way.
Would you give them a 72% chance, Andy, of winning the league?
I'd give them a more than 50% chance. I mean, I do think they're the best team. They've got the best squad, and they will get players back. And that was a bit of a slip-up last week, but against a team that are so hot at the moment, Villa, it wasn't a surprise result in other than you weren't expecting Arsenal to lose anything. But no, I think they will win it, but 72% I think is too high.
Yeah, maybe just a bit too high. It's only a couple of defeats though, isn't it? And I think out of all the teams, they look the most likely to go on a proper run because they've already done it this season. And Man City, like you just said there, do have a few vulnerabilities. Aston Villa are absolutely flying, but can they keep it consistent enough to actually be in a title race? I'm not too sure. So maybe 72%, a bit high at this stage of the season, but yeah, I would still have them as favourites. Now, for the first time in over 9 years, Sunderland and Newcastle United will lock horns in the top flight. It's the 158th Weirtime derby. Newcastle boss.
It just struck me though that this game is on at the same time as the game you're doing.
Yeah,
Palace, Man City, and they'll go over to Selhurst Park. What's going on, Ollie? I don't know. I'm following the other game. Sorry, I'm listening on talkSPORT 2.
So I'm trying to listen to Mickey Gray. Can you put him back on, please? I promise to Palace and Man City fans I will keep my energy up for the entire game, even if Newcastle are 3-0 down as well. But their manager, Eddie Howe, was asked about what this game means to him personally.
Yeah, it will be difficult. I think these games always are because there's a lot of emotion. There's a lot of challenges for the players to overcome to make sure we enter the pitch in the right frame of mind and where we absolutely need to be, which is focused on how we play and what we need to do. And the arousal levels are absolutely key because you can be too high, you can be too low. I don't think there'll be many too low in preparation for this game, but finding that place where the players play at their best is my challenge. And of course, you don't want the players to overthink things. It's a very important game, but we've got to focus on our performance. So all these things will be important.
Eddie Howe?
It's a stat I've never heard. Arousal levels.
Arousal levels, yeah. Who measures those?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this is a huge game. It could be quite a defining game, I think, Andy. I've got to be honest with you.
Sort of fancy Newcastle. The only thing is that all these teams, Sunderland have had a nice week off. Newcastle have had a difficult game in Germany, It does have a factor, and they are home, Sunderland, and they're very good at home. But I think Newcastle can get something out of the game, but should be a good one.
Yeah, I think the thing is as well, like I mentioned earlier, Newcastle keep conceding late on. I think it's 9 goals in the last 10 minutes that they've conceded. They keep throwing away.
It's normally a fitness thing, but I can't imagine that is.
No, and actually, I think it's become a bit of a mentality thing. In fact, I think Anthony Gordon was talking about that the other day, that he does feel that it's a bit of a mental block. They've done a lot of that at home, though. Now they're going to be away, and they've actually been pretty decent away from home in the last few games. But the thing is, on the flip side, Sunderland have scored so many goals late on in games. They've come back from 2-0 down against Bournemouth. They battled really well against Arsenal. So that does worry me a bit. I've got to be
Yeah. No, they're a very good team. They are. Anyway, Chelsea welcome Everton to Stamford Bridge. I don't welcome them at all on Saturday afternoon as the Blues look to put their recent woes behind them. Honestly, talk about 2 weeks in football. I don't know how a team can beat Barcelona and play like they did against Arsenal and then stink the whole place out for the next 3 games. It's really amazing. But boss.
Personally, because it's football. For me, it's completely normal. Again, I understand that most of the time we are always looking for problems or things that we need to solve. But again, Leeds game was last Wednesday. It's 8-9 days ago. And now in 8-9 days ago, we are not going to change our season because we didn't get the points that we expect, for sure. But I'm completely relaxed, I'm completely okay, because I'm sure that at the end of the season we're going to be where we have to be.
Well, hope you're right, mate.
That's manager of the month there, by the way.
Yes. So much depends on Cole Palmer. I mean, It's difficult when you've been out for a long time, but I mean, he was more than rusty last week against Bournemouth. He was absolutely useless.
Did you think it was quite strange that he started that game? Did you feel that it might have been better off maybe bringing him on?
Maybe coming on, yeah, possibly. I just think Maresca's substitution, Tuesday night substitutions were, nobody understood them except him. And he has on a lot of occasions this season got the substitutions wrong.
Do you think he's still there at the end of the season? If you're being honest.
It's hard to say. A lot depends on what happens between now and the end of the season. If they win something and they can see clear progress, yeah. If not, I'd say no. But that's the same for any of them, isn't it? It's
I tell you what,
a precarious sort of job. I think you'll
find. I'm looking at the fixtures now as well, and you've got Cardiff away in the League Cup quarter-final on Tuesday. Then it's Newcastle away. Then it's Villa.
We always do well at St.
James's Park. Famously do well at St. James's Park.
Yeah, always terrific. Yeah.
And then it's
Grateful
Villa.
just to finish with 11 men.
yeah. Then it's Villa. Then it's Bournemouth. Who might
Villa home though. Yeah, but you've got to think Chelsea. One thing about Chelsea is they look better against better teams.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, that's true. They've actually. I mean, who have they struggled against? Sunderland, Brighton.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Would you? How strange is that you would look at that Everton game and potentially think that could be the one they lose, and then it's the Villa game where you think they'll probably turn up at Stamford Bridge.
I'm not necessarily think they'll lose tomorrow. I think they can. I think it might be a draw.
Tough game.
Everton are very good away from home.
Yeah, they are. They were brilliant at Old Trafford in that game, even with 10 men. Now, Liverpool manager Olly Clink has been, of course, talking about Mo Salah. He was asked about him not being in the squad and whether that's purely his decision after Salah hasn't started any of Liverpool's last 4 games.
I think we've decided as a club, and I was part of that decision, not to take him towards the Inter Milan game. And I'm always in contact with them. But when it comes to the decision-making of the lineup or the squad, they always leave that open to me. But that's not to say that I don't talk to them. Mainly Richard, by the way, not Michael. To Richard. But I talk to him about so many things. With the decision to play a player or to have him in the squad, as I've experienced it till now, and I think this will never change, is entirely up to me.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, from Mo Salah's point of view, Liverpool put in one of their best performances of the season against Inter Milan. That was a great victory. I mean, to go there and do that. And so, I think, look, Dean Ashton was saying he thinks Salah will be involved. He probably will because of the sentimentality and the fact that it's maybe his last game. Yeah. So you'd imagine he's going to be on the bench. It'd be incredible if he starts, but maybe he will. Because they might have a sort of rapprochement. They might sort of chat to each other, and Slot thinks that he's going to put it in and he'll pick him. But that's one of the things we'll have to watch out for an hour or so before kickoff.
Yeah, I mean, Slot may have sat down with him and said that this very much might be your chance to just say goodbye. But like Dean pointed out earlier, it's really going to depend on how the game's looking, because ultimately Arne Slot has to get Liverpool back to winning ways. I know they won against Inter, but if it's, let's say, 1-1, which it very much could be against Brighton in the last 10 minutes, is he bringing on Salah for a bit of sentimentality? I'm not quite sure, but like you say, there's plenty to look out for.
No, but if they're winning, then 3-0 up.
I'd be surprised if he doesn't come on if they are winning, just for that chance.
And Brighton, you can't tell with Brighton.
No,
they're a bit flaky, aren't they? Sometimes they go and put in a brilliant performance, like they did at Chelsea, and other times they don't.
Yeah, very, very tricky. You off to the bridge this weekend, Andy?
I am, yes.
For an enjoyable watch.
Oh, come on, wait.
Well, I hope you enjoy that. I'm going to be sitting tensely at Selhurst Park listening to the Tyne derby. But there we go. Up next, don't go anywhere, because on talkSPORT it is time for Drive with Andy Goldstein and Darren Bent.